Yeah,
Jeez.
in Venice it's that outside as well.
Yeah, but still.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Which because me,
pretty.
I'm very aware. I'm sitting. I
Oh.
very much know.
Oh no, I'm like from northern Canada, and so like the hottest day of the summer will be like maybe plus 30.
This is our hottest day ever. That they've been going on about it all bloody day.
Oh boy.
Actually, been going on about it all week. Yesterday was baking hot as well, but today is just the worst bit. It's not that it's hot. It's dry.
Yeah. I don't know. Dry I find is easier than humidity.
So I think it's because like it's dry, but there's no breeze.
Yeah, but I find the
So
humidity just gets really like sticky. Like I don't mind the dryness. It's the stickiness that really drives me nuts.
I'm just I'm just gonna have literally like the 2 days off. It's been the hottest off work. That's just what I'm happy about.
Just
Yes.
Like I would much prefer minus 40 to plus 30 and raining.
I don't know. I've never had -40.
I've had minus 50, 60.
No, I don't think it's ever been that bad.
Yeah,
There
but
again, saying that when come on.
you just dress for it, right? Whereas when it's hot, like you can't do anything about it.
But in fact, my choice for when it's warm is the exact same as my choice when it's cold. It's don't go fucking outside unless you have to.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
look at like the only problem with being in the UK is the minute the weather does anything that's not normal, like average, everything gets shut down.
I'm just
Yeah,
adding a couple of scripts to the game right now, and I did start up the stream, so we'll be streaming to our huge audience of like 2 people.
oh good.
I more just do it to keep recordings of the game so you all can see them later.
Okay. Are we the two people?
Well, well, maybe 4 if you 2 are watching. Um, but
Where is it? Like
my
where's it?
stream,
Yeah.
I think I have the link listed in the Discord. It's streaming on Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look at it later and make sure that I'm following.
Yeah. I don't usually have huge audiences. Sometimes I get like 4 or 5, but yeah, it's not too often. It's mostly the community that watches. All right, I think I got most of
And you,
them on. Is everyone in Discord now, or we're still missing Liz? It looks like. Let me send her a message. I see you're enjoying my relaxing music.
I just opened
Roll
the what's
20.
it called? The Roll20 and it came on.
Yeah, and for there are you familiar with Roll 20?
Vaguely. I've used it on and off. And I've actually even used it as a DM. I just it's so big. I haven't had a chance to really go too deep into it. So
Yeah, there's a lot there for sure. But one of the icons at the top right is a cog, and you can adjust the volume in there, like the master volume of the music and such.
yeah, I was just looking for that. There we go. Now it's not blaring.
I think I have all the scripts I need. Looks like it. Oh, there's one more. So, how's everyone doing? feeling today?
Baking.
Got it.
Sorry, I just went to grab some water.
No worries. Did you say baking? Oh, because of the. I thought you mean because of the heat. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually
because of the heat.
not too bad where I am today. It was really hot the last couple of days, but it cooled down a little, so that's good. Alright, got all that set up good. We're just waiting on our one player, I think. She did just message me and say she's on her way. Yeah, and hopefully I can recruit a few more people for the game. Generally have 6 as my max. Oh, no one, right? That was the name you were going with? It looks like I still need a character portrait from you. I know you put it on the other game for your higher level version, but I think this one still needs it.
Now, because we're streaming, are there any issues with like copyright and stuff?
I mean, I don't generally have anyone care about that. So if you want to use something off Google Images, you're probably fine. I haven't had any issues so far. I mean, most of my images I use from like like this weird face creator thing that people use to create faces, and like none of them are drawn by anyone or anything. So, but if you all just want to use whatever art, I'm sure it's fine. I don't think anyone's going to care.
All right. Just thought I would double check.
No, it's something I've thought about too, but so far no one's cared. If it ever becomes an issue, I can always change my policy. But I don't have a big enough audience that anyone seems to mind. I'm going to make you a token, Quentin.
Perhaps if we continue this, I can do some art.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope we continue this. I'll be here. I have 8 other games I'm running, and some of them have been for over a year. Getting close to 2 years now, actually, on one of them. One of them is on game session 102. So, I fully intend to keep running these.
What level are they at then?
They are at 12 right now. One of them is in the Shadowfell. One of them is in an area far to the north in the mountains. And there are others around that level too, but they haven't been going as long. Quentin, do you mind if I make your picture your token?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same picture, it just has a border around it.
Yeah,
It'll just make things a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Also, is my I'm not streaming my camera on Roll20, am I?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's giving
Anyone
me.
is.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so. I'm just getting a weird like symbol on Roll20 that's making me a little bit concerned. But as long as it's not streaming that. Alright, so I got Quentin's token. Quentin. Let's see. Do you have dark vision on your character?
Yes.
60 feet standard?
Let me check.
I'm just entering it for the token here for the
Yeah, 60 feet.
dynamic lighting. Alright, so you should be all set with your token. Let me
You
do.
can see dim light with 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and then darkness as if it were dim light.
So, do you know one? Do you identify yourself as no one when like you meet people and such? Is that the name you use?
No, I was gonna. I haven't really done a whole lot of thinking about it, to be perfectly honest. But
Yeah.
I think the idea was that they just come up with names. They're very good at lying.
Mm-hmm.
I just put it as a placeholder, essentially.
Alright, so you plan to come up with different names as we go and interact with people?
Yeah.
That's fine. Let me make a token for you.
Different names, different faces.
When I get track of the name, it's going to be something
Yeah,
either
I'll
be
see.
very funny or very much mate.
I'll see if I can catch you on that. Or, well, not me personally, but someone in the world.
Oh, I'm definitely not that good at keeping track of things, so we probably will.
He'll make for
But,
interesting. Wait,
hey, aren't you a someone hide a letter change?
yeah. I haven't actually had that many changelings. I think I've had 3 in all the games I've had.
This is my first time playing one, so
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of interesting possibilities for RP with them. And do you mind if I change your image to your token?
sure.
Okay. It'll lose some of the background, but it'll keep your.
Oh, that's no problem.
Okay. No one.
It's zooming on the violin. That's who it is. She's not actually the girl playing the violin. She's the violin.
I don't think changelings can do that. They're not mimics. Just turn into a violin.
No, but I can become a medium or small creature.
Yeah, you just can't become a barrel or a chest or something.
No.
And changelings don't have night vision, if I remember correctly, right?
I thought I did because they're fey, essentially.
Oh, do you? Maybe I'm misremembering. I'll check your sheet.
Yeah. Well, I might be confusing it with the bugbear that I created.
Yeah, I think bugbears do. I'm not seeing it under your core abilities there. Like, you know, thieves can't sneak attack. So I'm guessing you don't have it?
Not on D&D Beyond when I look at the character profile. Not that it helps.
Yeah, so I think you just have the normal vision.
Okay, that's fine.
Just buy some torches.
I think I took the I think I took the burglar's kit pack, so I have like a lantern.
Oh, well, that comes in handy. And just
Yeah,
make sure. Yeah,
a good
it's
lantern and 2 flasks of oil.
yeah, which is I think 12 hours of light. So as long as you have those flasks of oil. All right, I got no one, and is my combat master working? It is. I think. Do we have our third player here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Welcome.
Why, thank you.
So, did you all decide on any type of joint backstory, or were you all separate? Like, do any of you know each other?
I don't believe we agreed to having a joint backstory.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think we even really talked about it.
It is possible if you all want to do that, but definitely not forcing anyone. Okay, let me make.
I think I'd be separate.
Is it How do you pronounce your name? File?
Fila.
Fila? Alright, let me make Fila her token. Then I think we're pretty much ready to go. Unless any of you have any questions or anything about how we're going to do this, or any concerns, or just anything in general you want to talk about. Which I think I mostly explained everything already, and I have all the, all the rules and everything listed, so I think we should be good. Alright, File. Do you mind if I replace your portrait with your token?
It's fine.
Alright. And I can use that to more easily make your game pog. I believe Tieflings have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Almost positive, because they have the infernal blood, which grants you the possibility even of Devil's Sight. Which is like super dark vision. Alright, I think I have all your tokens set up. Let me just check one other item here. Setting up all my scripts this morning, and I was like, oh crap, there's still a bunch more I have to do. So I have most of them done, but I'm just kind of getting the last few taken care of here.
No, you're okay.
Let's see. and just do all those token marks I just bought. Let me make sure I add those to the game. Okay, excellent. Alright, I think we're pretty much good to go. Do your tokens there look okay? Any final questions, concerns?
Looks okay to me.
Alright. So we're going to start in Highguard, a fairly large city on the western side of the Teruvian Empire. Which I actually just made a map for recently. Oh, So, it is evening, probably about 8 or 9 p.m. You are in kind of a courtyard in the southern part of Highguard. And I think I'll reveal some more as you all have been around the city a bit. Just kind of, you know what the surrounding outer areas look like. So there are two main parts to Highguard. There's the outer part, which is more kind of the slums area. And there's the inner part, which none of you have been to, but does house a pretty huge and impressive tower. Just let me see if I can reveal to you without revealing the rest of the inner sanctum. You just have to scroll north a bit on the map. The tower is pretty ancient. Do any of you have history? History proficiency, that is.
Nope.
Alright. So yeah, you wouldn't know much about it, but it is kind of the central part of Highguard. Even without history, you'd know that after the original reemergence from the last cataclysm, this tower was just sort of discovered in the middle of the wilderness, fully intact, as if nothing had happened to it. So one of the first settlements of the early empire was built around it, marking the original western edge of the Teruvian Empire. So yeah, some kind of ancient structure, though you don't know much about it. As for what you're all doing, you've been kind of sitting around with the rest of the caravan, getting ready as the caravan plans to depart tomorrow. There's a little bit of tension because of the unknown of what you might face. There's been several caravan attempts that have all been attacked, and so far none of them have made it through, though this one by far is the most protected. There's way more guards, and of course they brought in mercenaries this time, which are you three. So you've been sitting here, you're kind of sitting around a campfire. There are a couple of guards off to the side who've been sort of keeping an eye on the group, but not really talking to you much, when a large gentleman approaches. He would smile and nod to all of you and say, "Hail, friends. You must be the mercenaries who have agreed to come with us on this trip. My name's Shock. I'm sorry we haven't spoken before this, but I've been extremely busy. I just thought I'd come over and introduce myself and perhaps get a better idea of who you all are." He would look to Quentin. Quentin, what do you look like to everyone?
Right. So, Quentin is... Give me a second. My mind just went blank. I don't know
Catch
why.
you off guard. All right. Let's
I was
say
mid. I was mid drinking. I was mid
Quint-
drinking.
Quentin
Sorry.
just has a blank look on his face. He stares off into the like just 1,000-yard stare. He's a little awkward for a moment. Do you want me to
Yes.
start with someone else? Give you
No, no,
a-
I'm good now.
Good evening, sir. My name is Karen,
Well, he looks over to you. He says, "Well met, Karen."
and I look like um, a middle-aged human woman with a blonde bob. Yes, I'm looking forward to traveling with. Are you the people who we will be traveling with, or
He says, "Oh well, I'm the caravan master of this little trip. I've actually done quite a few trips around the Teruvian Empire. I'm not used to this area, but they brought me in because of, well, obvious reasons, the problems they've been having. Quick question. What type of armaments do you have no one? Do you have, like, obvious armor or weapons showing?"
what do I have? I think I have a rapier.
So you have a rapier at your side. Any type of armor?
Leather.
So, looking over you quickly, he would say, "Are you, I guess, what sort of training do you have martially? What can I expect from you in a fight? Obviously, you don't seem like a front line, but what sort of skills do you have in combat?"
Oh, I try to avoid combat as best I can. You know, I'm very great at self-defense, but, you know, if I can talk my way out of things, I will.
He says, well, I don't know how much we'll be able to talk our way out of an ambush, but I suppose it could come in handy."
You would be surprised.
He nods. And he says, "Well, I'll see what. Hopefully we don't need your combat skills, but one never knows."
And what about you? What kind of combat training do you have?
He kind of bangs the shield on his back, and he says, "I specialize in keeping my people protected. I try to hold the line with my soldiers and keep the enemy back while my archers and backline can work." He says, "I'm very skilled at protection, but I also know my way around a sword." And you see he looks like he has chainmail armor, shield on his back, and a long sword sheathed at his side, along with some javelins, and a backpack and all the other standard things. And he says, "Well," or go ahead.
Look him up and down. Well, I'll be sticking near you, handsome.
He smiles. Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Do I just click on it?
Yeah, you just click on it. He smiles and says, "Don't worry, I'll keep you safe." And he looks to Philia. Philia?
Philia. Philia.
Philia. He looks to Philia and says, "And what about you, miss?"
Oh, well, me, ma'am. Okay. My name is Philia. I heard about this caravan protection thing quite a while ago, and I just thought I would join.
He nods. He says, "They're paying quite a hefty sum, so probably a good investment." So do you have any obvious armaments, like armor or weapons?
I have light armor,
Okay.
and I have a hand axe, and I believe I have a sickle.
He says, "And what sort of combat talents do you imply, miss, if you don't mind me asking?"
Well, I guess it would come close to not getting hit.
He nods and smiles and says, "Well, again, I could help with that. It looks like you have a hand axe. Do you throw those, or?"
Yes.
He says, "Excellent. Well, as I said, I'll do my best to keep you safe. And what about you, sir, the quiet one?" He looks to Quentin again.
So Quinton's a young, attractive with blue and bluish grey eyes. Yeah, just sitting there, kind of like relaxing, chilling.
Do you have any
Um,
obvious armaments or anything about you that would
uh,
identify, like, yeah?
Probably he has a quarterstaff sitting next to him. He's got like a one of those like sleeveless cardigan things and a very low cut V top on, which shows the Druidic totem, which I suppose would be like a bird skull. And you can just see the start of a tattoo on his left pec, which is like a Triskelion.
Does anyone have nature or religious knowledge? Proficiency, I mean. Okay, so you probably, none of you would recognize his symbols, but they might look interesting to you. He says, what sort of combat prowess do you have?
Uh, well, I kind of just turn into animals and then attack.
Oh, you can turn into animals. Are you a druid?
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Quite rare in these parts. He says, I think I've only met maybe one druid in my whole life traveling the caravans. Usually your kind stick to the forests. What brought you into town?
Let's just say I like to experience different culture. And you've never met a druid like me.
Oh, I've only met one, so I doubt he was anything like you. And actually, I never saw him even turn into an animal. Do you know if is that something that the Phoenix Guild is all right with? The shape-shifting, I mean. I don't know much about how they regulate magic in the Teruvian Empire. I'm just curious.
Nor do I. Not really. It's not technically magic as such, because it's not spells. It's just something I can do.
I see.
So I don't know.
So
They
you
may
could,
be okay with it. They may not.
so you could turn into something like a bear and just maul someone.
I don't know about that. I can do a direwolf. I've not tried a bear, so I'm not sure.
Oh.
I can do a direwolf.
Uh, that would still be very useful, I think. I look forward to fighting with you. Hopefully, you wouldn't have to use that skill, but knowing I'll have a direwolf at my side, I feel a lot more secure.
If I want to be a direwolf, I could be any other creature. I just can't fly or swim. I haven't learned to do that yet. It's a bit more complicated.
He seems. It's interesting. So, is flying or swimming harder for you to do as an animal?
Being able to know how the mechanics of it work in that ship, kind of. I mean, try jumping off a cliff and flying. It's not easy. I can do a flying squirrel. I can glide, but I can't fly.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
He seems fascinated by all this shape shifting.
You know, my cousin was
Persuasion.
eaten by a dire wolf.
Well, it wasn't me.
He says, "Well, that's interesting. I'll have to talk more. I'm very curious how that works. I don't think you should go using it right here. You'd probably freak out the guards. But
I don't tend to do it in front of everyone because everyone tends to stare. It's not something I like everybody watching because then I end up with 1,000 questions by 1,000 different people, and it's really annoying.
like me, I suppose. My apologies
No, you.
if
I can deal with one. One person asking is fine. I don't like it when 1,000 different people all poke and prod and want to take you home as a pet. That's not fun.
I see. Well, we'll talk more later, but I need to actually get going to help some of the merchants get loaded up and make sure all the guards are ready. If you need anything, I'll be in the area, but otherwise, I should probably get that done. If there's anything you... he says actually the market's probably closed now. He'll probably have to go in the morning. But there is a bar up the street if you want to go get a drink. Otherwise, I'll probably just see you in the morning.
Will I be seeing you later?
So are you trying to be like flirty with him?
Like a little bit.
Give me another persuasion check.
I want him to have like a good view of Karen.
Okay.
Persuasion?
Yeah, I think persuasion would be the 22. He would say, I'll be around. I'd be happy to talk to you more later if you need anything.
Alrighty, catch you later.
He gives you a little smile. Alright, so he walks off, and as he stands back up, he's probably about 6'2", pretty big guy. Walks off, kind of goes to the south towards some of the wagons and starts talking to the merchants there, helping them pick up some of the crates. What does the group want to do?
Well, shall we head to the bar?
That'll be fantastic.
I hope they do something not alcoholic. I don't like drinking. It gives me weird dreams.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. Alcohol has definitely put me in some crazy places, I'll tell you that. Alright, and she'll kind of like grab the two by the shoulders and, lead them towards the tavern.
Alright, so as you're getting up to go, one of the guards nearby approaches you and says, excuse me. I was curious, can we join you to go to the bar? We kind of want to get a drink as well, and we thought maybe if we talk some strategy, it might be helpful in case, He seems a bit shy. Does anyone have insight?
I do.
Yeah.
So you can make an insight check. You might notice something. Or maybe not. Yeah, you get the, with your passive of 16, Quentin, you would get the feeling that he probably is very intimidated by the group and really wants to kind of get to know you all better in case there is a battle, but also, definitely is kind of scared to speak up. And Ophelia, you might get the same thought.
Of course, more the merrier. Come on.
Alright, so the party is making their way north. There's actually, since you guys have been in the town for a while, there are 2 inns nearby. There's this one, and there's this one. Let me do that again. There's this one, and there's this one. You think the northern one is the only one open late, though. This one is more of an inn than a bar. It has a bar, but yeah.
We'll head north.
Okay, so the party goes north, and it is dark, so your vision is probably not as good. But you head north to the bar, which is full of people. You hear singing, laughter. A bard is doing terribly inside, as you can tell that by the booze that he's not doing a very good job with his song. As you approach, there are a couple of guards that look like they might be from the caravan walking out who are a bit drunk. They see you and kind of go, friends, as they walk past. You have no idea who they are, personally.
Hey!
Home safe.
Sorry, what did you say?
Get home safe.
Oh, yeah, no, wait, where are we going? We're going back to we're just gonna be down in the tents down in the yard. We'll be there. Come hang out later. And they just like, okay, Bob. Okay, let's go. So you go into the bar, which is, as I said, abuzz with people. Were you gonna say something? Okay. You go into the bar, which is abuzz with people. There are barmaids giving out or handing out drinks, collecting coin. A bard who's getting some stuff thrown at him as he's bombing terribly on stage. Lots of energy and drunken revelry within the tavern. A young-looking barmaid walks over and smiles and says, "Let me get you all seated. Follow me." And she would lead you to a booth that looks like they just cleaned up. She would sit you down and say, "What can I do for you all tonight?"
Well,
For the table.
for the
Go
table,
ahead.
what do you have that's non-alcoholic?
Non-alcoholic. Well, we have some teas. We have some lovely juices. Of course, we have water. Were you looking for anything in particular, hon?
I'll have tea.
Specifically, what's your? Are there any specialty local teas?
Says, "Oh yeah, we have a couple of nice ones," and she goes into a list with a couple of kind of darker ones, a spicy one.
Ooh, I'll take the spicy one.
All right, I'll get that for you, hun, and dark one for you, handsome.
Please.
All right. And Ophelia, question: do you have your horns displayed, or are you kind of wearing a hood to hide them?
Hide them.
Okay. And so she would look to you and say, "And what about you, love? What can I get for you?"
I'll take a tea. A light one, please.
3 teas. Anything to eat? We have stew, chicken soup, and mutton.
What do you recommend?
She says, "Oh, well, the mutton is fabulous tonight, but the chicken soup is always pretty good. The chef is good at that."
I'll go with the chicken soup.
All right. So she would go and get your orders placed. It would probably cost you about a silver piece each for food and your teas. The guards also order, and you're all kind of sitting there eating and drinking as there's a lot of partying around you. One of the guards looks over and says, "Hey, have you 3 heard anything about these attacks that have been happening on the caravans?"
Nothing beyond just that they're happening. I mean, that's why we're here.
He nods and says, I'm not familiar with this route. They actually brought me over because of the attacks. From what I heard, there might be some kind of organization that's been attacking the town. They think there's rumors that this is more than just simple banditry. This might be some kind of organized group. I was just wondering if you all had heard anything about that.
Well, for each trip this caravan has taken, have there been the same bandits, people around to attack?
From what I heard, the attackers are they're not humans. They think they're some kind of barbarian group from the area, one of the orcish barbarian groups. Though others have said that there are these weird elves that have attacked the groups. The only one who's been through all 3 attacks has been Shock. He has managed to escape all of them. Although they've lost, I think, 2 caravans so far.
Wait. Shock has been in every attack and escaped every time and goes back and does it all again?
Well, there's only been the 2 attacks, but he's escaped both of them.
And nobody thinks that's a bit strange?
Or he could be quite lucky.
Or it could be work for them.
True, true.
The guard says, You think? You think Shock is working for these people? He seems like such a nice guy, though.
Yes, because if everybody shady was shady, they'd get away with it.
Don't listen to him. He's just being pessimistic.
Oh.
No, I'm sure everything's fine. Shock seems like a great guy, very handsome.
Guard says, yeah, I mean, he... What would he... I mean, I guess...
What would he gain from this?
Yeah, I don't know.
What would someone gain from raiding caravans and taking the belongings with them? Yes, what?
Let's
Look at...
Sorry, go ahead.
A year's worth of supplies, maybe a way to build a bunker.
See? That is thinking cleverly. That is what he could be doing.
Do you think we have to worry about him? And the guy looks a little bit concerned now.
I think keeping a careful eye on him is not the worst idea.
Give me a persuasion check, Quentin.
Oh god.
Oh?
Yes.
He nods and says, yeah, maybe. It's just, it's hard to fight an enemy if you think you're going to get a sword in the back from one of your own.
Not really, you just don't turn your back on the person you think will stab it.
He says, well, if you think both sides are going to stab it, where do you turn? And the guards are all kind of looking concerned as you have this conversation.
You'll go back to back with someone you trust, who you know you can rely on, and there you are.
Yeah, that's true. You all seem reliable.
Or do what I do and turn into a squirrel and run up a tree. That works too.
They kind of laugh, maybe not fully taking that statement seriously. Yeah,
He's just gonna look at them a bit
squirrel.
like. He's gonna look at them just like, no, seriously. I turn into a squirrel and we'll run up a tree.
Yes. Whenever if things are looking bad, we just run.
He says, "Can you all turn into squirrels?"
Yes,
No.
of course.
So only the two of you can?
I mean, it's our special talent. It's what we're known for.
He would look at Philia and say, is your, I don't mean to be rude, miss, but is your skin red?
Sheila's gonna twirl her hair in one of her fingers and just quietly look down. Well, you could say I have a very bad sunburn, yeah?
That is quite the sunburn. Are you an elf? And he kind of tries to look a little bit under your hood as if to see your face better. I'm sorry again. I don't mean to be rude. I've never seen someone with red skin before.
Phila will gently push him to the side, his hand to the side, and give him a pat on the head and say, No, it's okay. Thank you for your curiosity.
All right.
I will grab his shoulders and pull him to the bar and say, "You, sir, look like you need a drink."
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Thank you. You gonna buy him a drink?
Yeah.
Alright, so you spend a copper piece and get him another drink, trying to, I assume, deflect from him looking too closely at Philia.
I am.
Now,
Would we know?
Oh, so tell me about yourself. Any kids?
so really quick, do the three of you know about Philia's heritage? Like, have you spoken a lot to each other, or have you just met? Like, how do you want to play that?
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, do we know that she's a tiefling?
I'll kind of leave that up to the group to decide, like, and Philia as well, if she would have given you the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to Philia. I think either way, I would have seen that she was clearly hiding something.
Yeah.
And would have respected that.
Yeah, and if you have, training or proficiency in Arcana, you would probably know what she is by her skin color.
I do not have proficiency in Arcana, but I do in Insight.
Okay, now it'd probably be more Arcana. You, Tieflings or Tieflings, either way, are extremely rare within the Teruvian Empire. You probably... Go ahead.
I was like, would Quinton... I know, because would Quinton have a rough idea of what he is, considering what he is? If that makes sense.
Would you have an idea of what?
As Quinton's like an asthma, would Quinton know that Billy is a tiefling, or is that just like, no, that doesn't work that way? I know they don't like each other. I don't know if he'd know.
Probably. I mean, it would. I'm assuming you had a fairly normal upbringing, right? You were probably born into a human family and raised by humans.
Yeah.
In the wild, yeah, from your druid background, but
I didn't know if it's an inbuilt thing that he'll just have.
No,
just a general thing.
Not necessarily. If you were born into the wild, you probably never even encountered a tiefling, or even another Aasimar. I assume you know about your heritage, though, right?
Yeah, well, that's why he doesn't drink, because he gets dreams from the angel guide, which he really doesn't like.
Gotcha.
That's why he doesn't drink booze, because it just makes it happen easier.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't know about tieflings or the animosities between those two races, even. And you probably have never met one. Just as Philia has probably never met an Aasimar, unless she has Arcana.
I have Arcana.
Oh, you do? Okay. What is your perception? Passive.
Perception. What's wisdom? That's gonna be 14.
Oh, okay. So you might actually, especially with Arcana training, you might pick up on some of Quentin's features that would make you curious. You wouldn't know for sure because it often is hard to tell, but you would be curious about his heritage and might feel that he possibly could be an Asimar.
Okay.
Because he looks very human, but there are a couple of telltale signs about just like. Or go ahead.
He's got golden flecks on his cheeks.
Yeah.
That kind of look like, but then if you look really close, they're golden.
Yeah.
So that might be. Yeah.
So there are small signs like that you probably pick up on with your training in the arcane knowledge. But he doesn't seem to know, or at least he's not letting on that he knows much about your heritage. So all that out of the way, sorry, just a little story there about the different races of Gaian. But Noah, you took the guard to the bar, and you're just talking with him about his family a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you two would have a bit of a conversation. Give me a persuasion check. He seems concerned, definitely on edge about what is the rumors he heard. Now the possibility that Shock is in on it. Do you want to try to calm him at all, or more just like not talk about that?
I think my concern would be that he would try to confront Shock, and if we're having these suspicions, we probably don't want them getting out.
Okay. So
I'm gonna try to kind of calm him down, dissuade any suspicions.
Okay. So with a 23, you two have a bit of a conversation. We don't have to roleplay it. I can if you want. But he seems to be taking well to what you said, and he seems to be calming down a bit as you talk him out of the idea that Shock might, attack him from behind. And he says, "Yeah, I guess I have to trust the people I'm with, right? Stay vigilant, but keep, trust his leadership abilities."
Yes, but expect the unexpected, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best. But I'm sure everything is fine. He seems like such a nice guy.
Says, yeah, he does. Thank you. I'm sorry. What was your name?
Karen.
This is Karen. Thank you, Karen. My name is Irvin, by the way. It's been helpful to speak with you. I'm glad we had a conversation.
Of course, and anytime you want to chat with me, I'm around. We're traveling. We're going to be traveling together, so best to get to know one another.
Ah, yes, indeed. Companions in arms. It's always good to get a feeling for your brothers in combat. And he pats you on the shoulder, and sisters, of course, yes, and smiles, and says, "Shall we rejoin the others?"
Of course, and you know what? Don't worry about your drink.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. So they come back and rejoin the table.
Ilya's gonna look at the bard who's getting completely just booed at. Is there anything going on with his instrument, anything like that?
You think he is just maybe trying some new material and it's not landing. He seems to be maybe a little talented, but you're betting he's and you don't know if he's actually a bard. He might just be like a minstrel because you don't think he's employing magic or anything. Being that you have Arcana, you know the difference between a bard and a normal minstrel. You just think, yeah, he's just bombing. You don't think it's his instrument.
Ilya will go up to the bard and start singing a sea shanty.
All right, give me a performance check. All right, so it quiets down a little as you begin to. What sort of is this like what type of mood are you trying to create with this song? Is it like relaxing? Is it like playful? Like exciting? What are you trying? Are you like riling up the crowd a little? What are you trying to do?
Exciting.
Sorry, what?
It's exciting. If you know
Exciting?
the one, I don't think anyone listens to She Shanties anymore, but it's one by the Iron Maid by the shore. If you know that one.
I'm not familiar with it, but the people seem to be clapping along with you as you're singing, and the bard is kind of trying to sing along with your, or maybe play his drums along with your tune. Still not doing very well, rolling poorly, but the people seem to be, or the customers seem to be excited by your song, and before you know it, people are clapping along as you sing.
Celia will turn to the bard and quietly whisper in his ear when she's done. I don't think you're terrible. Maybe get some more practice in, yeah?
He nods, says, "Oh, thank you. Yes, I. Not a good night for me. You saved me," and he rolls you a silver piece from his tips. And actually, you would get a few tips as well as you're singing, and people are kind of like fist pumping and clapping. A few people walk over and drop some silver in front of you. You make, I'll say, 8 silver pieces from the tips you get from doing this.
Okay.
So, is there anything else the group wants to do, or should I just pass time as you kind of relax and chat, drinking your tea and taking in the ambiance? We could do more RP, or you can, I can just pass time and say you hang out.
Decide if Hila told us about.
I don't think we did. Philia, do you think you would have told them about your heritage, or more just kept to yourself?
Myself for now.
Okay. So, yeah, probably you. I mean, you two might be curious about that as well, because obviously you can see her skin, but she is kind of hiding her facial features. So, you may have been curious, but it's up to you whether you want to ask her about it. Maybe even tonight at the tavern. But yeah, do we want to pass some time? Sounds
Yeah,
like.
we can pass the time, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's some merriment, singing. Maybe does Philia want to do a couple more songs after, and or is she just going to go sit down at the table after that song?
About 2, 3 more songs, yeah.
All right. So there's more merriment. You get bought a few drinks, Philia. I'll say you make another 10 silver pieces in tips. Give me one more performance check. Let's see. Well, the second song isn't as much of a crowd favorite. Everyone's kind of like, yeah, this is okay. Give me a third one, because you said you were doing a few songs. Oh, there we go. All right. So yeah, they're all into this one though, and yeah, you get a few drinks, you get some more tips, and I assume you would join the table again later, where all the soldiers would compliment you on your song. So a couple of hours pass, and it's now very late. Getting close to, I'll say like 11 or 12. I assume you're all heading back to the tent area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So... Oh, I just realized I did not have the time here. So it's the 84th of summer. We'll say it's midnight when you get done. Was anyone drinking to excess, or more just tea and food?
Just tea and food. Well, actually, if she's getting bought drinks, I think Phila will be quite a bit tipsy.
Okay, so maybe drinking a little bit more than she should have.
Yeah.
Give me a Constitution save for poison. Okay, yeah, you're fine. So you feel a little bit tipsy, but nothing to the point where you're like impaired or sick. You get a nice little buzz going, maybe a little smile on your face as you walk back to the tents. You would see Shock is still out, still kind of getting things together. He's talking to some merchants. Most of the people have gone to bed at this point, as it's pretty late. There's only a couple merchants still getting their things in order. What are your passive perceptions?
9.
I think mine's 16.
16, 9. Now, when you say 9, do you mean 9 or 19? Like -1, 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 14.
14?
Yeah, no, it says 9 on my passive.
Okay, yeah. So...
I'm still singing along to Fila's song.
You're still, yeah, maybe humming a little bit or singing.
I also have no dark vision, so I probably wouldn't see much.
Yeah, there's, I mean, there are some torches burning in camp. So the area is lit. It's not completely pitch black. But Quentin, you would notice as you're kind of walking back over to sit down in your tent area, someone's skulking in the shadows off to the side. You would see they're probably about 150 feet away from you, so definitely not close, but you kind of notice them as they move through some torchlight. And you think they pass a box, some kind of chest off to someone who quickly puts it into one of the carriages. There are some guards nearby. You don't know if they saw it, but they are kind of standing in the area, keeping an eye out, seemingly protecting that particular carriage over the others. The figure then slips off into the night, and you don't know where he goes. What do you want to do? Or do you want to do anything?
I do, but part of me just wants to go and look in the box.
You don't see the box anymore. It's in the carriage at this point.
I want to go look in the carriage to find the box. Okay. Right.
It just seemed a little suspicious. So the box he put in there was like a small wooden chest. It was probably about like, I don't know, like a foot by 1 foot by like 1 foot. It's like a small box.
Is the car open plan, or has he got like a like it's one of those ones which had like a roof or a fabric?
It's
roof,
covered, yeah.
you
It's got a fabric side and roof, like the fabric covering, and it has a lot more boxes in there. You can't actually see inside the carriage because of the fabric sides and top, but like those old horse-drawn carriages, like that you see like in a like Western time period, like something like that.
Right. Is there any way, like any alleyways or any like places that no one's looking at I could duck into?
I mean, there's dark areas. There's it's nighttime, but this is mostly an open, like square. There's a fountain in the middle, a large fountain, but otherwise, it's more like a gathering area.
Are you gonna tell us what you saw, or are you just gonna disappear?
Yeah. I'll tell them like they saw a shadow and it passed the box off and it put it in the thing. I was trying to debate if I want a wild shape or not. I wanted to get in. Yeah, so I'll tell them and just go. So I really want to know what's in the box because it was a bit dodgy to me, but I don't know how to get in.
We could just ask.
Or we can distract.
You guys gonna steal the box?
No, not steal. Just investigate.
I just want to look in your box, sir. Please open your box.
I don't know if that's a dirty innuendo or not. I was thinking of
make it.
Yeah.
I was thinking of turning into a cat and then going in.
Are you telling them or me?
No, I'm telling them.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But I don't know how we'd get out.
And there's like, you said there was guards like guarding that particular
yeah.
of it?
So if you look over where he pointed, you two, you would also notice that that particular carriage seems to be more watched than some of the others.
Philia will turn to Karen and be like, we can pretend that we lost our kitty cat and we can call for him?
Yeah, that would be. We could do that.
Or we could just go and ask Karen's boyfriend and ask him if he knows what's in that one and if he can let us have a look because we saw something dodgy.
I thought you didn't trust him.
I don't, but he's usable.
Here, why don't Hila, why don't you do the cat thing? I'll go talk to Shock.
Okay. Kitty, kitty,
Should I-
kitty, kitty.
All right. So
Should I go and change into a cat then?
It's up to you. I mean, there doesn't actually have to be a cat.
Okay.
Just be quiet.
all right.
Okay, I'll help you look for the cat.
So are you splitting up, like three of you or two of you are going towards towards the carriage, and no one is going to go speak with Shock? Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
All right. Let me do no one. Or no, let me do the other two first. So you head over towards the carriage. Quentin, you're going to turn into a cat.
No, I'm just gonna go looking for the cat.
So you're both looking. You're going to say you're looking for
Yeah.
a cat. All right. So you're approaching the carriage. The caravan guards nod as you come closer. One of them says, "Oh, it's those mercenaries they hired. Hey, friends."
I
Hello.
Is everything all right?
Well, we're kind of sad because we lost our cat and we can't find a kitty kitty.
You have a cat?
Yes, a quite
Yeah.
big, chunky cat. The big fat cat.
Oh, give me a deception check.
Quinn's gonna look really annoyed at him for saying it, just like, that cat, really?
Oh. He says, "Oh, it's terrible. Is this like some kind of war cat you're bringing with you on the mission, or just like a pet you got around somewhere?"
No, I get a bit of anxiety when I'm away from home, so it brings me great comfort.
Oh, hey boys, you seen a cat around? And they kind of shrug. He says, "No. What does it look like?"
Good gracious.
He said it was
the
a
cat.
big fat thing.
No, it's not flat, it's fluffy. It's not fat, it's fluffy. And
Oh.
it is a yellowish body with black, darkish brown legs and tail, and a bit of a brownish face. The Siamese cat, but I don't know if they have Siamese cats in here. So yeah, it looks like that.
You guys seen anything like that? I ain't seen anything. Well,
He likes to get into carriages, and he likes to nestle in there. So we thought he might be in your carriage. So if we can just have a quick look to see if he's in there.
well, we can take a look. Jim, why don't you go check out the carriage, see if there's a cat in there? Yeah, sure, I'll take a look.
Just be careful. He doesn't like strangers.
All right, so
He will scratch.
Jim walks over and he's kind of jumps in the back of the carriage. You hear him shuffling around. He's like, "Kitty, you back here? Any kitties back here? Hello?" Are you gonna-
Lilia's gonna go ahead and cast Eldritch Sight to see if she can see any magic items in the caravan.
Go ahead and link the ability.
Oop, can I do it? There we go.
Okay, now link detect magic.
Where is that?
That should be on your spell list. If it's not there, you can always drag it from the compendium into your spell list. Okay, and this is at will, so you don't have to worry about the slots thing. So you begin chanting, and the guards look really worried suddenly. And so like, what's she doing?
It's to find the kitty. It's to find the kitty. It's a
He
spell
likes
that
this
lets us
song.
see where
He
the
likes
kitty
this
is.
song. He likes this song.
Give me a deception check, Quentin.
Can I help him since I'm lying alone?
I think you're in the middle of casting right now, so you probably can't talk. Oh, well, good roll.
Yes.
The guards kind of look at each other and was like, "Is she allowed? Is she licensed? Can she cast magic out You seem very concerned.
Yes.
But you cast
But
Detect Magic, and you do indeed see one magical signature coming from the carriage. There is something magical in there.
If you see the shape of it, or just more of just like a little glowing faint light.
You would see an aura. It's not covered up enough that it's blocked, so it's probably somewhere out, well, off to the side. Um, but you wouldn't see exactly what it is, at least not from here. The guy kind of finishes looking. He says, "I didn't see a cat in there. Sorry, miss."
It's okay, no worries. And she kind of pulls Quentin to the side and go, okay, let's go somewhere else. Let's go.
All right, so you guys kind of head back. Meanwhile, no one. You go and talk to Shock. He's over with one of the merchants, helping put some crates on the back of the cart. He sees you walking over and smiles, and he says, what did you say? It was Karen, right?"
Karen, yes.
This
And you
is,
said your name was.
So that wasn't him. That was me asking. He would say, Karen. And he jumps down off the cart and smiles. And he says, "What can I do for you?"
Hey, good looking. Well, just came by to say hi, see how you were doing.
He
You
says,
know?
just busy getting everything in order for tomorrow. Doing okay, though. Yourself?
Oh, wonderful. Had a lovely tea at the bar that you recommended.
Oh, good. I haven't had their tea.
Oh, it was delicious. The spicy one. That's where it's
Oh.
at.
I'll have to try it next time. So,
What are we transporting?
what
Just out
are...
of curiosity.
He says, just in general, well, we've got a lot of food that we're bringing into the town. Supplies, clothing, herbs for medicines, various...
Anything exciting?
Give me a persuasion check. He says, nothing too exciting. Mostly just the standard fare. A lot of it is just supplies to help the town with the siege they've been dealing with. Until someone sends them help, they're really in a bind. So that's mostly what this is.
Can you tell me more about the siege?
Uh,
I'm not very up to date on current events, unfortunately.
Says, I can tell you what I know. It seems like some sort of really well-organized banditry has been attacking Chaur. The outer farms have been raided, and most of the farmers have fled into the inner town, which has a gate. The guards have been holding off these attackers as best they can, but without the food stores from the surrounding farmland, the people are in a bit of trouble. So we're trying to get them this food to help them out. We don't know much about the attackers. Some say it's some kind of organized barbarian group. Others say they're bandits. I've been in a tussle with them, and
Yes, I heard.
he says, yeah, it's actually...
New incursions? That's incredible.
Says, well, I feel really bad about having to retreat both times. The first attack, he says, I sort of misjudged it because the first attack was a lot smaller than the second one. So when we were attacked the second time, I thought we'd have sufficient guard, but they came in even greater numbers the second time. It makes me think they scout the caravan before attacking and bring an appropriate number of their people.
So, does that mean you think that someone here could be working with them?
As far as I know, I'm the only repeat person on both trips. It's possible someone could be, but I didn't really think about it until now. I don't... if there were survivors from the other attacks, they ran off and we didn't regroup, so I don't know what happened to them. Some of them may have been taken prisoner.
you haven't, like, I'm just, oh, it'd be so exciting if there was a mole in our group. So you haven't seen anyone, you know, hanging around the tent area or the caravan, keeping an eye on things?
He says, not that I noticed. Most of my guys are new each time. As I said, I'm the only repeat soldier on each of these trips. Everyone else has been different. Give me a persuasion check. Okay. So he says, it's a good thought. It's something to keep in mind. I don't know if I'm fully on board with the idea of a spy in our midst, but it's something to watch out for.
Certainly unlikely, but can you imagine how romantic it would be?
Romantic?
Such an exciting story.
You mean to have a spy in our ranks?
Oh, just, just that it would be exciting.
Says
Not that
I.
it would be a good thing.
Give me another persuasion check. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Although whoever is doing it would be a terrible bastard to be giving us up to the bandits like that. Men have died because of it. Or soldiers.
Absolutely. Can I make an insight check on him?
To see like if he might be might actually be a spy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Give me an insight check.
Or if he knows anything.
So you don't get the feeling he's being dishonest or deceptive or hiding something. He seems pretty genuine.
As I thought he was.
Yeah. He says, well, I'll keep an eye out. That's an interesting theory. There's no one who I'd suspect off the bat. As I said, we have new people each time, but yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Well, I'm sure we'll all be safe with you around. And she'll kind of like touch his arm.
All right, give me one more persuasion check. I see what you're doing. Apparently he's not too into it. He says, yes, of course you will be. And he smiles and slaps his shield and says, I'll keep you all safe. Don't worry.
He's just oblivious.
Yeah, maybe a little bit oblivious.
He wasn't earlier, but tonight he is.
Tonight, yeah.
Well,
he's been busy. He's had a lot in his mind.
Well, don't work too hard, honey.
I won't. You all stay safe tonight, and I'll see you in the morning.
See you.
Alright, so he goes back. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She'll give him a wink.
Alright, you give him a wink, he gives you a smile, and he would go back to helping this merchant get all his wares loaded, all the different crates. So you'd probably get back to your tents around the same time. Well, maybe you'd get back a little bit sooner. And Philia and Quentin would arrive, maybe a little after you.
So, what did you find out?
Oh, I found something. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know because you dragged me away, so I don't know if you found something, if you didn't like them.
Well, I didn't say I didn't like them, but I found something. It's magical something in there. It's quite small, but there is a faint aura in there. Yes. And sorry I called you fat. I just wanted them to feel more sympathetic.
You didn't call me fat. You called the cat I would have to change into fat.
So indirectly, yes.
No, I just don't like turning into the fat thing. It gives me a bit of a complex.
But you'd be so
it's not-
fluffy.
I can do fluffy. Fluffy I'm good with. I am fine with fluffy. I just don't like fat. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being fat. I just can never get it. I try. I've tried to eat a lot. I have been fed loads. My mother gave me pies all the time. I got sick and tired of pies. And I just never put on weight. I literally stay like, and I've lift my shirt up, but you see like a six-pack with the vein. Just like, I always keep this. I don't know what, well, I know why. but I can never get fat. I just am always like this, no matter what I eat. And he drops
Celia,
his shirt.
Celia sides eyes Karen.
You
Just
two
looks
are
back
just
at
looking
I
back and
did.
forth at each other. As
Oh,
Quentin.
honey, you're beautiful no matter what you look like.
I know that I can't help it. That's the problem. Like, I don't like trying to shift into something that I can't change into. I can't change into a fat cat. It just doesn't happen. Whatever I change into, it's like the peak of fitness for it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's got a tough
It,
life.
You know?
I know beauty is such a pain.
It's such a burden. I just can't
I
look
know.
terrible as an animal.
I know, right? Pretty privilege is such a drastic thing. Uh, I don't know why. I just don't like the idea that they're going to expect to see a fat cat and then they don't see one.
Well, I mean, perhaps it's just the eye in the eye of the beholder, you know? Perhaps you're
What's
fat
that?
to Ophelia, but physically fit to everybody else.
He
Right.
has a point.
If I'm fat to Ophelia, then God help whatever she thinks is fit.
Celia just taps her chin and just quietly thinks to herself as she ponders what is fat and fit.
Contemplates this discussion.
So,
Alright.
I know.
Ophelia, how's your
Such a pain being
how's
celestial.
your doing? You know, I'm sure we could find some ointment or something for your skin.
Quick question: Are we all in the tent, or are we still outside?
So you probably have separate tents, so I'm assuming you're all sitting by the fire still, having this discussion, because there's probably only a few fires left burning. Most of the people around you have gone to...
I mean,
Sorry.
we're talking about our deceptive discoveries, so I'm assuming we're somewhere
Secluded.
secluded
Yeah,
and
so,
Just not
yeah,
talking very loud.
there's a... Well, it's late at night, so most of the other guards have gone to bed. There's probably no one close by. Yeah, there were the guards that were sitting near you, but they've gone to their tents. So in this part of the square, there's probably just your three tents. You'd probably see, like I said, a couple of guards like patrolling the edges of the of the yard with torches. But as far as you can tell, no one's near you. It's just the three of you sitting by this fire.
Okay, so you said you saw a small glowy box.
Yes.
Does that mean anything?
Well, the
Like-
Glocks, you wouldn't have seen the box glowing. You would have just seen an aura coming from the carriage.
All I can tell you is that I saw something glowing. It's magic. It's in the wagon. I don't know what I don't know what you guys call it. The
Yeah,
wagon.
you could say the wagon.
It's in the wagon. But I can't say. It's in the right corner of the wagon. Maybe it was the box. Who knows?
What did Shax say, Karen?
oh,
Like, did you ask him about?
he pretty much said the same thing as the guy in the bar. Just that he suspects that it's a gang of barbarians. He did say that the second attack was bigger than the first attack, and that it could be that perhaps that they were prepared and knew what to expect. But you know, I did get a pretty good look at him, and I really don't think that he's working with the barbarians.
I wonder if he would know, or if he could go and have a look at this magic box.
We can't use the fluffy cat anymore. So
Well, technically we can, because we never found the fluffy cat. Just I'd actually have to turn into the fluffy cat.
how many
But then
soldiers
we
are
could-
patrolling around us right now?
So there are only a few guards in the yard. Probably the biggest gathering would be the ones watching that wagon.
How many are there?
There are 3 currently awake, kind of leaning up against the wagon, talking to each other. It looks like there's a couple sleeping on the ground, so they might be taking shifts watching.
We could always sneak into the wagon and see what's in the box.
But I doubt they won't notice a fluffy cat pawing around in there.
Yeah, it would be pretty difficult to sneak past them because they're like basically leaning right up against the wagon.
Well,
You could try a squirrel.
Well, I could, but they're a bit weirder in towns. They're not so often seen in towns. Like it'd be a bit odd. Like, oh my God, there's a squirrel. Why is there a squirrel in town?
Well,
And
they are in town sometimes, but there are no trees in this area, so that would make that odd.
mice?
I do a rat, but the problem is people hate rats.
Yeah, he might attack you.
Foxes tend to would get chased away, so the best option is it's either a cat or a spider.
How
But
about a
spider
dog?
would be like,
We could always, I mean, the distraction worked the first time. We could always come up with some sort of distraction that will pull them away from the wagon momentarily.
Hmm. Do I have
What
that?
would-
Do I have that? I don't have that yet. I would suggest we cast disguise on ourselves and become a god. Yeah? But that's
I mean,
be
that's definitely something that I could do.
I can't.
me neither.
I can.
Do you feel
You
comfortable
go
doing
look.
it?
Sorry, there's too many people talking.
Go ahead, Quentin. What were you saying?
Gwyndor just got very excited when you said like I could do it. Went, you go look.
All right, and Ophelia, what did you say?
Do you feel comfortable doing that by yourself?
Of course.
Okay.
All right, so how are you gonna do this? Where are you gonna transform?
Well, we're somewhere private, right?
You're sitting around a fire in the yard. It's not. There's no one near you, but it's not super private here. You do have a tent nearby.
Okay. Well, might be weird if well, not for Karen. To have her go in and someone to come out.
Yeah. You're. I don't think you revealed that nature to your group yet, so they might
Not at
be.
all.
Yeah. So they
She's
might be a
flirty.
little curious.
No, but
She's been grafted on.
I've been quite flirty.
True.
She's been grafted on Shaq since the minute he turned up. Like I don't. Quinn's not really stuck. Quinn's just like, yeah, no, she's got the hots.
So, are you gonna go turn into someone?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I will use my shapeshifter ability as an action. Change your appearance and your voice. My clothing and equipment aren't changed by this, however, so we may have to go steal someone's outfit. What are the guards wearing?
Most of the guards have leather armor, and they have spears on their backs. A couple of them have shields, but most.
Is there like a uniform?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably most of them are probably just wearing common clothes under their armor. The armor and the weaponry is probably the thing that most of them have in common. The clothing underneath is not really there's not really a uniform. I mean, they're mostly caravan guard mercenaries. There's no caravan guard like uniform.
Right.
So, yeah, it's mostly.
There's like a general wear that they would expect someone like one of their own to wear.
Not in particular. Probably just the armor and weaponry that the other ones have. I mean, they probably know each other, so it might be hard to just walk up to them and say, "Hey, I'm going to go in this carriage." They might find that suspicious.
Is there a bathhouse around here? Around where we're at?
If there is, you don't know of it. This is a pretty poor area. The outer wall is where most of the slums are. The inner wall might have a bathhouse, but you aren't allowed back there.
Oh.
That's back near the tower. That just is massive, looming over everything.
Hmm.
Well, I guess we go for it and hope for the best.
Alright, so are you going to change your shape, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go somewhere private to my tent. I'm
Okay.
gonna change my. I'm gonna cast a disguise self in quotation marks.
So
And
go ahead and link the ability you're using in the chat.
yeah. Let me do that. How do I do that?
So there's a like word bubble button, I think, near the ability. If you click that, there you go. Let's see. Just because I'm not super familiar with this ability. Okay. So what are you making yourself look like? Like what race are you going with, and what sex, and all that?
I'm going to basically turn myself into one of the guards that I'm familiar with.
Maybe one of the guys you were talking to at dinner.
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
One of the ones you.
No. Go big or go home. I'm gonna turn myself into shock.
Oh, all right. So you make yourself look like Shock. Make yourself a little bit bigger, muscular man. You don't have his armor or weaponry, but you do look like him now.
I am going to take my rapier off as well as my short bow, so that because I know he doesn't have that,
Okay.
and I have a dagger, so I will conceal that.
All right.
And
So
just and I will kind of essentially look like shock, but like more casual.
casual Shock. All right.
Casual shock.
Sure. So you do this change. You pop out of the tent, I assume, and
Yeah.
you all would now see that Shock has come out of the tent. Philia, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Cast disguise.
So you are pretty sure she did not use magic, as you know that magic generally does some kind of sound, and there's usually some kind of chanting involved. It's not something you can usually. Go ahead.
Can I make a deception check to see?
Uh,
Because I would have pretended to have cast a spell.
do you have Arcana knowledge though?
I do.
Oh, you are trained in Arcana.
I don't. Sorry, I do not have Arcana knowledge, but I would. But I am. I am a wizard.
Oh, okay. Oh, you. All right. Do you have the spell change self, disguise self?
I don't.
All right.
But
So
can I make it?
yeah, give me a deception check, since you are a wizard. You might have some knowledge of that. Oh. All right. So never mind. It's you hear some chanting. Now, generally, magic casting in my world does have, I don't want to say signature effects, but it does make like noises and have some visual elements that one can identify as magic being used and summoned. Do you have another spell you could cast to try to fake that you would use? Or are you just going for just like making like noises while you're in the
I'll
tent?
make noises. I'll
All
make
right.
noises.
So you're just making noises trying to mimic magic.
Yeah, and I can make a performance check if I need to.
Well, I'll use your deception. Give me an insight check, Philia. Oh, yeah. Sounds like magic to you. Alright, so there's some magic sounds, and no one pops out of the tent looking like Shock. Which is a little awkward, because Shock is still walking around the yard doing things. So now there are two Shocks.
Right, well, if we're doing this, I suppose I'll go keep him busy. And I run off the shop, the actual shop,
Not the shock, yeah. All right. So how are you going to keep him busy if he's helping someone load a wagon?
You wanted to talk about druids and shape change, so yeah.
Oh, so you start
We'll do that.
engaging him on shape shifting and
Well,
druids.
I'm gonna try and like get him to come away, like to go somewhere private, like not there, so he doesn't run the risk of seeing himself. But yeah, that's basically gonna be like, come with me, we'll go talk somewhere private, and I'll talk to you about being a druid. Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check. So he seems happy to talk about druids and druidic magic, but he says, "Oh, I have to finish loading some of these wagons. I can't really go right now, but maybe after we get everything set for tomorrow. But I'm happy to just talk to you while I pick up boxes."
You can talk. I don't really want to talk about like druidic stuff because it's kind of a secret thing that we don't really discuss in public. Like, I don't mind answering questions, but it's kind of a bit of a secret.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage. 16 again. So he seems torn. He looks to the merchant. The guy says, go on, Shock. I can finish up. It's fine." He says, "All right, yeah, sure. Let's go. I'm curious about the shape shifting. So you're gonna lead him away a little."
Yeah, I'm gonna let him take me to a place which is kind of like a bit foresty, like a bit like a wood, or some trees, or a lake, or a pond, whatever.
All right. Well, this is the slums. There are a couple of trees around, so we'll just say you kind of go off to the side here near the barracks. And no one in Philia, what are you doing? You are now Shock, and the other Shock looks like he's wandering off into the darkness.
Okay, I am going to head towards the suspicious wagon.
Okay. So you head over there. Philia, are you with her, or are you staying here?
Dang, are there any animals awake at this point in time?
Any animals?
Animals, yes.
Animals. Give me a perception check. You don't see any obvious ones? There's a... No, you look around the yard, but no, there's nothing. The animals are probably either hiding or, probably elsewhere. It's not like they're transporting any in the caravan.
Okay, Philia will maybe stay 15 feet behind Shock, quotation marks, and keep an eye out for things.
So you're walking over with him.
Yes.
So as you approach, the soldiers see you and say, Shock, how are you, friend?" And they kind of straighten up a little, make sure they're looking like they're on guard duty.
Good evening. Gotta stay alert, We know what we're hiding in here.
Hiding?
I'll just go in.
You just step past them and into the wagon?
Yeah.
They say, what'd they say? Everything seems secure, sir. Nothing has changed tonight. We've been keeping an eye out.
I just, you know me, I just need to double check.
Yeah, sure. So you walk into the wagon. There are a bunch of boxes in here, a couple of barrels, lots of stuff.
All right. Do I see the box that they were Quentin and Ophelia were talking about?
So I don't think Quentin was able to point it out to you because he noticed the handoff, but he wasn't able to say, "Look, it's the box." So he just described it.
I did tell them that it's in the far right corner.
Yeah, so I mean, you do see a bunch of boxes, but none of them look like, that you know for sure that's the magic box.
All right. Can I just start rooting around and seeing what I find?
Like, just start opening stuff up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you do that, one of the guards looks in and says, "Everything all right, sir?"
Of course, just, making sure it's all here, it's all secure.
Give me a persuasion check.
God. We're all gonna die.
You are. I'm not there.
He nods and says, "Well, yeah. I mean, as I said, everything seems like it's in order." So you start opening up boxes. You find some food, some rope in the crates. Give me a perception check as you're searching the area. See what you find.
Perception or investigation?
I'll take either.
Investigation.
No.
No.
So yeah, you're looking around. Lots of supplies here, though. Are you gonna stay here for a while doing this? Like, how thorough are you trying to be?
I'm fairly thorough. I'm gonna, I'm
And I assume
check,
you're.
I'm checking things off in my mind, and I'm pretending to be shocked, inspecting everything to make sure that everything is.
Yeah. And I assume, like, you're digging through things and you're closing them back up afterwards, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm like, I'm inspecting things.
Yeah.
For a long journey.
All right. So
You want to do this right.
let's see. Give me Quentin. You're trying to keep him as long as possible talking, right?
Yes.
Give me a.
Talking fast. If he seems kind of into it, flirting, or if he starts flirting with me, just like flirting back and just like, I don't know, seeing what he puts down and then just running with it.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage. He does seem fascinated by druidic magics. Oh, 19. All right. So yeah, you're doing a pretty good job of keeping him distracted. One of the guards, after a bit, says, "So, Shock, is everything okay for tomorrow? Has there been any word of the bandits or anything that we might have to be worried about from the caravan masters?"
I mean, same as before. We're prepared, but it's always good to be extra prepared.
Says, yeah, I know. It's just it seems like they've been kind of vague, and I was hoping they would have some more information for us as to what to look out for. He says, I was curious, last time that you were on this trip, what sort of, you mentioned the armaments, and you mentioned that the enemy had some ranged and melee armaments. What sort of ranged weapons do we have to look out for?
What I have heard about what weapons the barbarians were using, by any chance?
You probably didn't, because again, a lot of this was vague. You didn't hear much about what had happened.
Can I make an insight check to see how much this guard actually knows?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Or if he's just trying to pull information, get more information out of Chalk, or if he actually knows.
So it's hard to tell. I'd say it's hard to get a reading with Nate, but he does seem like he is curious. As you were, or as Shock was the only one who was involved in those skirmishes.
Well, barbarians, they had a lot of basic weapons, but they were tough, I'll tell you.
Give me a deception check. He nods. He says, "Yeah. Did they have bows, or were they just using javelins? I guess I was curious."
Happened so fast. It was hard to really see what was all being thrown at us.
Yeah, I get that. Give me another deception check.
Terrified.
All right, he seems satisfied and just nods. He says, "Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I am really worried. I wish we had more information. We have a lot of people this time, but still,
Well, keep your eye out, and if they attack, we'll be ready.
Alright, so as you're talking to this guy, you pop open one of the wooden boxes, and there is a odd-looking curved dagger sitting there. Do you have history?
No.
Okay, so you don't know anything about this dagger other than it looks very unique in its crafting.
Okay. I'm gonna replace it with mine.
Give me a sleight of hand. So as you're picking the dagger up, the guard notices and he says, "Oh, what are you doing, Shock?"
Just looking at it.
Okay.
Just making sure that it's hasn't been damaged.
He kind of lowers his voice and he says, the caravan master said we weren't supposed to take it out."
But you're curious too, right?
He says, "Yeah, but I don't want to end up in a jail cell."
Just for a minute, relax. Nobody's
He says,
here.
"What about the trap on it?"
Well,
"The alarm spell? The wizard?"
the wizard.
He looks at you very curious now. Give me a deception with advantage or disadvantage. He says, "The one we all spoke to."
Right, yeah, of course.
He says, "He's going to know you took it out. You should probably put it back. He's probably going to show up any second."
Yeah, no, you're right. I'll put it back.
Alright, so you quickly put it back and you quickly put it back and close it?
Listen. If anyone asks, the box fell over. It got knocked off. Don't worry about it.
He seems very worried looking around the yard. He says, "Alright, well..."
I will take the blame. You don't have to worry about it. This was all on me.
He nods and again is kind of looking around nervously, and he says, all right, well, yeah, okay."
Listen, I'll go find the wizard and I'll explain everything. Don't worry.
Give me another deception check. That seems good enough for him. He says, "Oh, yeah, sure, okay." You probably want to put it back under the other things, though. We gotta make sure that gets there, or it's gonna be all of our asses.
Yeah, no, of course. And I'll put the box somewhere. Does the wagon have a back entrance?
So,
or is there
as just really quickly as you're talking, something peculiar happens. An owl flies in and just lands on top of the carriage, and all the guards "Oh God!" They're all looking up at it, and it just kind of sits there and kind of turns its head sideways, looking at all of you, and then just continues to sit up there.
All right, I'll nod to the owl, I know what's going on.
Give him the thumbs up, finger guns. I got you,
Not
owl.
even that, just I'll just acknowledge.
Yeah. Just kind of look at it. I gotcha. All right, so you kind of put the package kind of back underneath some stuff. Sorry, what were you asking or saying?
Is there is there only one entrance to this wagon?
This one, yes, which is unlike the other ones that have two. This one is a little more secure. Okay. Though you could still probably cut through the fabric if you wanted to get in, but yeah.
All right, I wanna put the box somewhere kind of fairly close to the fabric so that if we have to, we can cut the fabric and steal it later.
Okay. So the owl is kind of watching everything now, and you kind of nod at it, pushing the box to the side, hoping you can retrieve it easier
and
later.
I'll put other stuff on top of it.
Okay. And by the way, Ophelia, you do see all this. You're kind of off to the side right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to do anything.
Since I have dark vision, I can see about 60 feet in front of me. Is there anyone else around that owl? Anyone looking at the owl, anything like that?
There are the guards, but the area is also lit up with torches from the guards. There's mostly just these guards here. The guards, the owl, and Shock, quote unquote.
Is there any trees or anything like a hidden building, anything like that around this area, or is it more just open space?
No, it's just an open courtyard. It's just, yeah, there's nothing really around.
Okay.
All
I
right.
just like observe.
Alright, so you observe. So you put the box back. Yeah, the owl just sort of watches you, is kind of keeping an eye on everything that's going on. What do you want to do after that?
I'll like shuffle around a little bit more, just checking things off the list, making sure everything is packed down and ready for.
Okay, so just kind of making it look like you're kind of taking inventory and.
Yeah, like I'm just kind of continuing on with like whatever I was doing before I touched the knife.
Okay, give me another deception check. Okay. Yeah, so you continue doing that. The guards seem very on edge now, looking at this owl, looking at you, kind of nervously smiling.
I'm just looking calm.
Yeah, you seem like you're calm, know what you're doing. Pretty good deception check. After you finish doing that, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go up to the guy. I'm like, hey, like you haven't seen the wizard like anywhere. You wouldn't know where I would find him.
He shrugs. He says, he only talked to us that one time, same as you. I assumed you knew who he was.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just wondering where I could like if he's in like around here. If you've seen him.
The guard shrugs. He says, I guess he's probably somewhere in the inner walls. I mean, that's where most of those wizard types are. I think he says you could ask Blackwater when you get to Chaur. He'd probably know more.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Well, thank you so much for the help. And seriously, don't worry about anything. I will take care of everything.
He nods and is still kind of nervously looking up at the owl. He says, "Yeah, no, I'm sure it's fine." Seems
I'll
like
just kind of smile and give the owl a bit of a wave.
all right. The owl just kind of turns his head, looking like an owl at you.
All right, and I will walk off.
All right. So you and Philia, I assume, go back to your tent.
I'll go back to my tent, and I'll just turn to Ophelia and say, "Hey, just give me a minute," and I'll go into my tent and I will drop, quote unquote, disguise self,
Okay.
so that I no longer look like Shock, and I will.
You make your magic noises, and you turn back into your Karen form. Quentin would probably return like 5 or 10 minutes later as Shock comes back to the yard.
Was there like any flirting with? Just so I know roughly, was there any flirting, or was it all just like strictly druid?
Were you trying to flirt with him?
It was kind of just going off what he was doing. So if he was flirting, yes. If he wasn't, no. But I was keeping it very vague on the druid stuff as well.
He seemed like he was very interested in talking about druid stuff. But if you want, you could have tried to flirt with him and see how he reacted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check. Oh, all right. Well,
very badly.
So he may have been a bit confused. He's getting flirted with a lot tonight. He has a lot on his mind. You think he might not have realized you were flirting with him. Didn't really react much to it.
Quentin kept it very vague about druid specific stuff, like just the general stuff, like stuff that it's not a bad thing to tell, but not like all the dark secrets.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So should I pass time till tomorrow, or is there anything else you all want to do tonight?
Well, I will just explain like what I found and the whole caboodle with the wizard.
Okay. The wizard, quote unquote.
How does the dagger look like, by the way? I'm sorry.
Shiny?
Do you want to try to describe it to her?
Sure.
Do you have history, Ophelia?
No. Oh.
No.
Okay.
I can try, but it's gonna go poorly.
If you're not trained, the specifics probably wouldn't make much. Wouldn't mean much to you. Yeah, I would say yeah. Even though it sounds strange to you, but you wouldn't know anything if you don't have history trained.
Okay.
Yeah. It does sound like, I guess with your Arcana knowledge, it sounds like something that may have been crafted in one of the other cycles, because it sounds very exotic to you. So there's a chance it's really old, whatever it is.
But this is the bit I don't get. The wizard made a deal with the guards that this dagger was going on the cart, and yet they put it on the cart just, which makes no sense. Why have a conversation about a dagger going on a cart when you're going to just put it on now? In secret.
Well, you see, I suspect that the reason we're here is that dagger. We're not here for the rest of the supplies. I suspect that we're guarding whatever that dagger is. That's what we're really here for.
I really hate rich people putting money and wealth above people's lives. I really hate it. It just grinds my goat.
Does Celia still
But
see the owl?
Yeah, it looks like the owl's hanging out, kind of keeping an eye on the area.
Oh yeah, did the owl follow me?
No, it didn't come over here. It's still keeping a close eye on the carriage at this point.
Okay.
It's kind of sitting on top of the carriage, looking around the area.
It didn't. Did it see Felia and Quentin get into my tent?
Did it see you? Do you mean did it see you go in and change?
No. Did I don't care if they think that Chalk and Karen are getting it on, but I'm a little concerned if they think that the four of us are all.
Oh, no, because so you're all still outside the tent. The tents aren't really meant to have multiple people. You all have separate tents.
Okay.
So you just came over here, kind of went in your tent as Shock, and then came out as your character.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not sure if you'd even noticed that. It was still kind of looking pretty intently at the carriage and what was going on with that.
Okay. That's good.
I really hate wizards. I really do.
Yeah, they can be they can be some pretty pretentious assholes.
Always. They think that because they study in books and they read a lot and they write it all down, that they know everything and everybody else is stupid. I should kill that familiar. I really should.
Yeah, I think that would make us look way more suspicious than we actually are. I say just leave it. I mean,
No,
it's
I
not
know,
like
it'd be
it's not like once we're out of here, the wizard can do anything.
No, I know, like, even if I killed it, he sees me tomorrow, I'm a druid. You put 2 and 2 together and comes up with, I killed his bird.
So, real quick, Philia, give me an Arcana check.
You got it.
Okay. So, the familiar spell is fairly low level. With your knowledge of Arcana, you know that if the wizard is using a familiar, he can see through its eyes, as long as he is within 100 feet of it. So if he's looking through its eyes, he's probably somewhere close. If he's not, then he may have just sent it to gather information and come back at some point. But, yeah.
What?
That's just
Philia
what you know in your head.
Okay. Philia turns to the both of them and describes perhaps the wizard is actually close by. I was trying to look around while Shok was not quietly looking around the wagon. Perhaps we can see if our friend is nearby.
What do you want to do?
What
When
would we gain from that?
Put a face to this mysterious wizard.
What would that put us on his radar? If
Yes.
he knows what our faces look like.
If he's close by, he would have seen you.
He would have seen Shock.
Oh, yeah. True, yeah. He would have seen Shock and Philia get close to the wagon. So as you're talking about this, you would see Shock walk up. He says, "Oh, you three are still awake. I was about to go to bed. I finished getting everything ready, so we should be all set for tomorrow. I just wanted to check in since you all are still awake. Did you need anything else?"
Oh no, we're heading in that direction ourselves.
All right. Well, good night to you all. Or yeah.
Quick question. Is there a water well nearby?
I think the closest well is behind the inn over there, and he points to the larger building to the east.
I think I'm gonna quickly go and refill my water skin.
Also, before you go, Shock, listen. We're a little embarrassed about this, but Lilia lost her cat.
Oh?
So
I didn't know you had a cat, Philia.
It's quite fluffy. Phoebe looks pointedly at Quentin. But quite fluffy,
quite fluffy.
pretty kitty.
You could almost say
Quentin's staring into the fire right now. We're just like a really look, just like a really. We're doing this.
The cat has abs. Looks like it works out. He nods and says, "Well, I can certainly keep an eye out for it."
Keep an eye out. If we have to leave tomorrow without it, so be it. But it's a pet. We'd like to have it around.
Oh, I understand. I'll definitely keep an eye out.
Thank you.
Thank you,
sweetheart.
He says,
So wonderful.
I do what I can. You all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Carol, give him a wink.
Give me another persuasion check. Keep winking at him.
Poor son's been flirted with by everyone.
Shock's like, man, I'm a hot commodity tonight. No, he doesn't seem. Well, he gives you another smile back, but you're not sure if he's catching on. He takes a walk, going back to one of the tents. Looks like he turns in for the evening. So you're gonna go to the well to refill your water skin?
Yes.
Was there any secondary objective, or are you just getting water?
The house is right here. I would like to see what they're all about.
Okay. So it's a slum area. They're pretty run down. There is a guard in the area. This is a town guard, not a caravan guard. He would give you a nod and say, "Be careful, miss. It's dangerous to walk around the slums at night. You might want to stay in view of me."
Thank you, kind sir. And she'll quickly refill her water skin and then nod back and run back to the group.
Alright, so you go to the well. You just get a bucket of water quickly. Put your water skin in to fill it up and head back to the group. Give me a perception check. See if you notice anything here. 18. You do notice some. Looks like some people up late. They're not too close to the end, but they're kind of back here near some of the houses. They have a torch. They're kind of hanging out, talking. They might notice you over there. One of them might give you like a little bit of a wave. But I assume you're just going to go back to your group.
Do I see any unique clothing or charms about them, or no?
They just seem like normal commoners. Like there's a group of like 5 or 6 of them hanging out near a fire.
What age are they around?
Probably teenagers to young adults.
Yeah, Affiliate is going to go back to the tent. Check that.
Alright. Okay, so you head back to the tent, going to bed for the evening?
Yes.
Alright, so the night is...
We don't want to go find this wizard?
do you want to try to go find the wizard, or are you going to go to bed?
Want to go find the wizard?
Let's go to bed.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Alright, give
Quinn's
me...
gonna do one thing. Quinn's gonna do one thing before he goes to bed. He's gonna go into his tent, turning to the cat, sneak into Shark's tent, wake him up, then revert back to his own self and just be like, "Yeah, that's how it works," and then walk off to his own tent again.
So... Give me... okay, so you're going to walk into his tent. It does look... Yeah, it's dark in here. Shock is sort of... looks like he's still awake. Are you trying to sneak in, or are you just going to walk in as a cat and then poof?
No. So I'm just gonna walk straight in as the cat, kind of like, you know, like when a cat just wanders around, just like, yeah, no, this is mine.
Okay.
Just like...
So you push up from under the tent flap. Shock looks and says, "Oh, hello there. Are you the cat that's missing?" And he kind of goes to grab you.
Do I want to? I'll let him grab me. I'm just gonna see how long. I'll just let him grab me and just see how it goes.
So you kind of sit there for a moment as he holds you and takes a look at you and says, "Huh, wonder if this is her cat." And he kind of gets up and he's gonna put you down for a moment as he starts putting his pantaloons back on, getting his shoes back on.
I'm gonna as soon as he puts me down, he's got his pantaloons on. I'm gonna shift back into me.
Oh God! He quickly grabs for his sword, thrusting. It seems almost like instinct is like you just poof, and he throws himself backwards, grabbing his sword, gets it halfway out, and he says, "Quentin? Gods, man, I almost stabbed you."
No, you wanted to see like the shapeshift thing, so I thought better to just show you how, kind of, yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Good gracious.
Aggressive.
He calms a bit, maybe gets a little smile. He says, gave me a heart attack. He says, yeah, no, that is amazing. I just wish you would have warned me. Gods,
Kind of defeats the point of surprising you if you know it's coming.
Well, yeah, but thank you for showing me.
No, it's fine.
So wait, are you the missing cat? Are you all playing some kind of jape on me?
Not on you, just generally the guards. It's kind of funny to be like, oh my god, there's a missing cat, and then I just turn into a cat, and then people like fuss me, and it's nice. I like the fuss.
Give me.
I just don't like it when people know.
Give me a persuasion check at disadvantage. Oh, well. Apparently he thinks it's funny too. He says, "Yeah, I guess that is kind of funny." I was gonna go to bed unless you needed something.
No. You can go to bed. I just thought I'd show you, and because like I don't want everyone seeing me shift, I thought wait for you to be alone, which kind of only happened when you went to bed.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't entirely think it's true.
He says,
yeah.
It's interesting. As I said, I've never seen a shapeshift before. That was startling, to say the least. I thought some sort of evil magic was befalling me, but I'm glad it's just you. Thank you for showing me.
Magic doesn't tend to be evil. It's kind of just down to who uses it. But, and FYI, very good body.
Oh,
very good.
Give me a persuasion check.
You love Shock. Oh my god.
Like I said, he's a hot commodity tonight. So he kind of looks down again, like his mind is like a million miles away when you say that, and he's like, thank you. Thank you. That's kind of you to say.
No, I mean...
You as well, friend.
Did you see me lift my shirt earlier?
No, I can't say I did.
Oh, I lifted it earlier to show the other two, and yeah, no, And I'm gonna lift it just to show you. Yeah, see,
Look at
like
my
I don't
abs.
do anything for it, but I just have this naturally, and it's very annoying.
Oh well, that's seems like a
I
good
know,
problem to
right?
have. But yeah, no.
I know.
Uh, well,
Anyway,
yeah.
I should
Thank.
probably let you go to sleep unless like you wanted me to stay, or I can just go. It's up to you. I don't know what
Uh,
to do right now.
he says, I think I should go to bed. It's pretty late, and I have to be up early to get the caravans in order. But this has certainly been an unexpected encounter.
They tend to be the best kinds, to be honest.
Yes, yeah. Uh, I'll see you tomorrow, Quentin.
Maybe you'll see me before if you see me as a cat, or as a
Says,
dog, or a
well,
fox.
yeah. Just please warn me if you're going to do that again. It was very unnerving. I was not expecting it.
All right, how about this? If I meet animal again, I'll lick your face
All right, fair enough.
because I can't tell you when I'm in the animal form because I can't speak.
He says, "Yes, no, that would make sense. Very well. I shall look out for such actions from an animal.
All right, night night. And
Good
walk
night."
off and go to bed.
He sighs and is like, "All right." So he's going to bed. You head back to the group with a little smile on your face, probably.
Scared
And
someone. What?
yeah. All right. So I am going to pass time unless there's something else.
We need to do something quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly, Lydia will open her water skin and whisper into it. I hear you, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Fathomless.
And you're doing that kind of secretly.
As a prayer, yeah.
Okay. You do your little prayer to the water. Give me a d20 roll to see if anything happens during the night. Probably not. Very low danger area. Yeah, no, you're fine. So the night passes. It is now the 85th of summer at 7 a.m. Bright and early, everyone is waking up, getting their things together. You all had a long rest in case that matters for any of your abilities. You see Shock kind of getting all the carriages lined up. He's looking over his lists, making sure everyone is present and accounted for. Do you want to do anything before the caravan leaves? The market is open, so if anyone needs last-minute supplies, you can go buy them.
Yes.
It is daytime, so you have much better of a view. So yeah, at this point you can buy anything book price. And actually, why don't we take a quick 5-minute break, because I'm going to use the restroom, and you all can buy any items you need from the marketplace. Just, as I said, at book price. There probably isn't going to be time to haggle, because you're leaving soon. So you probably just have to do book price right now.
Okay.
Alright, I'll be right back, so let's take 5.
Gonna go ahead and get Federals. The handbook. Here it is.
enjoying the game?
I'm liking it so far.
Pretty early still, but it's actually more time than I usually spend in High Guard. But it seems like everyone's been having fun with the interactions.
I mean, Shock is a pretty boy around town, so I mean, hey.
Apparently, I don't think he's ever been flirted with this much in the opening game.
Hello, back.
Welcome back. We were just talking about how much Shock is getting flirted with.
Yeah. In fairness, I'm not sure if Quinn actually fancied him or was just doing it just jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, what? I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right. We were just talking about Shock's popularity.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was definitely just flirting with him to get information.
Yeah.
Quinn's got daddy issues, maybe. God knows.
Alright. Well, yeah, and I was asking how is everyone enjoying the game so far?
Good.
Alright.
That's good. But Quinn, why did you reveal your old cat thing? We could have used that in the future.
You still can, it's only him.
Just probably not
Can
with
you
Shock at
change
this point.
the color of the cat? Or is it just...
No, I can change the colour. The colour
Okay.
can be whatever I want it to be.
We could
Okay.
really use that missing cat deception
Well, he knows it's Quentin,
now.
you know. Well, I would hope Quentin didn't use the same coloring as the cat that's missing to surprise Shock.
Quentin went in black.
Okay.
Quentin's general go-to form is a black animal, like black fur.
What was that?
He admitted that he was the missing cat, though.
Yeah, I think
No.
he did. He asked the cat if it was the missing cat, but Quentin didn't actually reveal that he was the missing cat. So that might.
Quentin can't speak in cat.
No,
Yeah.
wasn't that the whole joke? Was that he pretends to be the missing cat?
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. You were like, yeah, we play this joke on people, so I guess you did kind of tip your hat there.
Oh, gosh, dang it.
Yeah, it's only him. Like you can still use it. And again, there'll be more than one cat. Like
I can use it again, but because again, we're trying to deceive Shock as well.
Yeah,
but
it might
We
be
don't know.
harder to deceive him. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
We don't know what his deal is yet.
Yeah. Did everyone buy items as needed?
I'm still buying stuff.
Okay. Just let me know when you're done, and we shall head out into the world.
Also, because as you all can see, I can't pick an accent, so I don't know if tieflings in this world have like a set accent or just go off of the.
I don't know if they'd have it. I mean, you can have a different accent. I don't think they have a set accent because a lot of them are born. There are some groups of tieflings that travel almost like gypsies, but also there are those just born into born to families. A lot of times, those people are kind of, I want to say, like, probably shunned a little, just because of the heritage there. Depending on the town, like, people might see it as a bad omen, people might see it as, like, some kind of devil pact, so it really depends on the population you're in.
Don't worry, I can't stick with an accent for Quinn either. Like, it keeps shifting. I just know he has an accent.
Because I keep trying to go from French to Spanish, then to Jamaican, then Scottish, and then back to Scottish, and then French.
You're figuring it
I'm
out.
doing like mine ends up going like I don't know, like Middle
And
Eastern to
I just spilled
Irish.
my drink all over my desk. Sorry, one sec. I'll be right back.
Oh, take your time.
Like I can't pick. Like Quinn's voice is really hard because every time I go to speak and say a word, like it tends to go a certain way. I'm just like, no, that's not right. I'm losing it.
I mean, you'll figure out his voice. It's session 1.
True.
But in fairness, I don't need to stick to an accent because it can just like be flexible. It's just who he is. But yeah,
Oh, I'm
I
definitely not. I don't do accents, so it's not something I've ever tried to do. So
I just thought it would work for an Asimar like being exotic and
Right?
you know
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I
Um,
just thought like it's different. Like he's different. Like he's. I mean, I'd love it for the fact that he comes from a really like northernish, like northern family that just don't talk anything like him. They're just really just like they all have one accent. Like it's all just like one really proper low tone accent, and he's just like really weird. Just like yeah, we've no idea why he speaks like it. He never used to. He's like no,
yeah,
I always speak like this. It's like no, you don't.
he gets it from your side.
It's the fucking angels. That's what it is. It's the fucking angels.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like my character is better at accents than I am.
I just love the idea of like a change of things you can't do accents and then just has the same voice in every.
But it sounds different in your ear. Exactly. So, oh my gosh. That's
You know, that would be really funny, except that it actually says in the ability that you gain,
Yeah.
you change your voice.
oh,
No, I just in my head, but it was just like you turn into this huge hulking creature and you just got like your voice like.
Hey, man, I'm Karen.
well, hello there. It's nice to meet you. Oh my gosh. I don't even think this town. I mean, I would see, but he didn't say anything about having disguise kits in the market.
Uh, juice all over my dice. Luckily, I
Oh,
don't think
no.
any of it splashed into the computer. That's what I was worried about.
Nice.
Yeah, electronics seem okay, so that's good. All right. How's the shopping looking? Are we good?
Can we get disguise kits?
So, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, that's a book item. I guess you could probably buy it at book price.
Yes.
Give me give me a quick. Sorry, go ahead.
Where is the book?
Player's handbook.
Oh, we just have to have it.
No, you
Well,
can look online as well.
yeah, I think they have most of that stuff shared. I can look it up for you if you want. It's
Sorry,
definitely. It's
I
definitely.
just don't have any of my books here.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no,
okay.
it's a link.
We can cover for you. I think I have some books here.
FIV dot tools. There's a whole entire list right there that I shared. I hope it went through the one.
Actually, before you buy this disguise kit, though, give me a persuasion check. Let's say maybe you have to talk to some people before you can find it. It's not something that would be obvious.
Gosh dang it.
Anyone can make the check because you could all be talking to people in the morning,
Oh, okay.
and you don't have to be trained either. You can just make it.
Seriously.
Wow.
So yeah, Karen. It's Karen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen is able to talk with.
Keep track of my identities too.
Yeah,
I'll catch
I'm
on
just
that.
I'm just gonna keep forgetting. Don't mind me. If you want, you can change your name with the cog tab to say Karen. Like right now, it'll say you're in Karen form. It's your display name in the settings for Roll20. So like if you want, or else I'll just keep calling you no one because I usually just look to that.
Yeah, no, you can be calling me no one.
All right. So yeah, with a 15, you are able to find someone selling disguise kits. And let me look up the price on that real quick.
How much are they, and how much money do we actually have?
You would have your starting funds, so whatever you didn't spend during character creation, you still have that money.
Okay, because I think I just took whatever. Like I didn't add any money to my thing. I just took whatever.
So I'll say you have the money that he paid you, half of it, which is going to be 30 gold pieces. and you get another 30 once the caravan gets to Chaur. So you have at least 30 gold if you don't have any other money.
I have 35 minus 1 silver minus 1 copper.
Yes, and the exchange rate I think is 10 for each of them.
I was just too lazy to do math.
So it's like 10 silver to a gold, 10 copper to a silver. So 100 copper and a gold piece.
Alright, cool. Excuse me. Well, I'm looking at the book. I think Disguise Kit costs 25 gold.
Okay, so they are fairly expensive. That would make sense because they're not a common item.
I'm gonna go for it.
So if you want to buy one, just subtract 25 gold and give yourself a disguise kit.
There's the link.
Yeah, I looked it up in D&D Beyond. Because my player's handbook is on my shelf. I generally just look stuff up on the internet. Alright, so the group, the caravan carriages, there's about 15 of them total, are going to set off heading north. So let's do the first day of travel. Give me a D20 roll, someone. Interesting. Give me a D100 roll, someone. Oh. Interesting. Alright, one moment. So you're traveling away from Highguard. It's a pretty populated area. You would see like mile markers, and there are guards patrolling the roads. The roads are pretty well kept. Lots of farmland as you go down the path or this large road. You see lots of farms to the side. People would be running up to the caravan, trying to do some trading with some of the merchants as you travel. So you have a lot of the merchants talking to people. The last carriage in the caravan convoy is the one that has the box in it, and that definitely has the most guards near it. They have probably 5 or 6 at a time watching that, which is kind of masked by the fact that it's the back of the caravan, so you'd expect there to be a lot of guards watching the rear. There's also a good amount in the front. With you all in about the center of the caravan is where Shock puts you, so you could go to either side if needed. Are you doing anything during the day as the group travels?
Just giving a general watch for anything.
Okay.
Do we have to have rations with us?
Usually you would, but the caravan is feeding you for this trip, so you don't have to worry about that for the trip. Good question.
All right.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah, they are feeding you for the trip.
Okay. But yeah, like what you said.
Okay, so keeping an eye out. The first day passes quietly. As you get to the edges of the kind of the Highguard territory, you start seeing less farms and now just trees everywhere, and yeah, a lot less guards. At the end of the day, Shock kind of puts down tents and he starts arranging the watch rotations for the caravan. He says, "We're still pretty close to Highguard, so I'm not expecting trouble, but everyone keep their eyes open. You never know." I was going to pass this quickly unless any of you wanted to do anything. Okay, so let's say this time is passing. It is now nightfall. Give me another D20 roll, please.
Minor curse, so no thank you.
She's giving D20 rolls to someone else. Okay. Give me a D100 roll.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. It's a little bit better. So the night is passing quietly. Do you three want to have a watch rotation? You probably
I was
should.
gonna say, can I ritually cast alarm?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and I assume you're just going to cast it around the middle of the caravan where the group is?
Pretty much wherever I'm sleeping.
Okay. So you cast it as a ritual. Now, do you have spell slots?
Yes, I'm a wizard.
So you want to make sure that you have those set to the correct amount, because I think they're all set to 0 by default. So if you go into your spell list, you can adjust those up or down. If you want to cast something as a ritual, instead of clicking the spell, you can just click the description, and then it will post the description without minusing the spell slot.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I get that? 'Cause I think I.
So if you're on your spell sheet,
I mean, it does. It.
let me see.
There. I only have one spell slot.
At level 2, you should, I think, have 2 first level spells.
No, I'm a level 1 wizard.
Level 2?
Well, I think she's multi-class, is what she's saying.
Multi-class.
Oh, okay.
It says you have 2 spell slots, so I think you have 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just concerned because it said all slots expended, and it's like I.
Yeah, that was because it was, I think, 0 when you clicked it. Because when you click it, it automatically minuses it. So if it was set at 0, it would have just said you had none. But it looks like yeah, you're set to 2 now, so you should be good.
Yeah. So an area within range that is no larger than a 20-foot cube.
Okay.
And it's a mental alarm, so there's no sound.
Okay. So yeah, you set up your alarm in the area of the group. Sorry, I'm just doing some changes to your sheet real quick. Alright, so you do have the long rest button there. If you click that, that will reset all your resources marked to reset on a long rest, and your spells. So
where is the long rest button?
It's on the first page, about halfway down. There's long and short rest.
Yes.
I just added that because that's not by default. And actually, let me add that to each of you because that'll help you track stuff easier. So I think you should see it now, Ophelia.
Let me look.
There's a long and short rest button.
Either I'm just blind or I can. Oh, I see it now. I see it.
You see it? Alright. Is that. Your Tentacle of the Deep spell or ability, is that once per day, or how often can you use that?
I think. Let me look at this one. Tentacle of the Deep.
It's a long rest, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, you can summon a number of times equal your proficiency, so that would be 2 right now, okay. So 2, and 2 total, and you recover those on a long rest, got it. Alright, and I'll do one for Quentin really quick, because I know you have druid spells. So let me set that up for your sheet. Oh, it looks like I already set this up. Okay, good. So that's set. Do your wild shapes... That's a short rest they reset on, right?
Yeah.
And what about the healing hands? Is that long rest or short rest?
I think it's long rest.
Okay. I think it is too. I just wanted to make sure. I'll set it to long rest. So now when you use the button, it should reset those as well as your spells, which are set. Okay, good. So yeah, watch rotation. Oh, and you know what? I just realized I forgot to set a scribe for the game. So usually I have someone take... kind of take a log of what's happened. It doesn't have to be anything too intricate, but just to kind of track what the group's done. Would anyone...
I'm doing that right now.
Sorry, what?
I'm already doing that right now since the beginning.
Oh, awesome. You are
Yeah.
awesome. Alright, so I'll put it down as you for now.
Jotting down random notes.
Because everyone's just been scribing. Alright. Well, there is a spot in the Discord where you can post the scribe notes under journal.
The most conclusive thing I have on my notes is that I am Karen.
Well, we'll have Philia be the scribe for this week.
Thank
let
you,
me.
Philia.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
No
Makes
worries.
it easier. So we'll have Philia. I'll put Quentin next scribe, and then no one as third spot. And if we get more people, I can add them. So as for the watches, there are basically 3 sections of the evening. There's of sleeping. There's evening, night, and morning. Evening and morning have some light. Nighttime has no light. So usually when you're setting your watches, you want to keep that in mind. So like people without dark vision don't do too well in the nighttime, because it's basically perception check. So what order or what shifts do each of you want to take?
I'll do first.
Evening? All right.
I'll do night.
Okay. So evening is no one. Night is Philia.
Yes.
And morning Quentin.
Yep.
Okay, so you agree on shifts. Alright, and you should see this in the journal under character. Oh, I can move it there. It's called Watch Shift. I'm going to put it in character info under. There's no information tab. I'll just put it in that folder for now. And I'm going to put the 3 of you in player characters so you can look at your sheets there. Okay, so that's all set up. So you're doing nighttime. You have your alarm set up around the area. Night passes quickly. There are no issues.
Do I see Shock there?
You'd probably see Shock doing a couple of patrols during the evening. He would nod to you and give you a wave.
I'll wave and I'll wink.
You give him another wink. Alright. Give me another persuasion check. Maybe you'll figure it out one of these days. Oh, alright. He gives you a smile back. Continues his watch rotation, or his guard duty.
Is there any other like suspicious activity?
You haven't seen any near where your group is.
Is that owl still hanging around?
You haven't actually seen the owl since the town, unless it's up in the trees. You haven't seen it get close. Are you just are you sticking to where you are, or are you gonna try to look around the caravan as a whole? Right now, your 2 companions are asleep next to you.
I'll just like, I won't go too far, but I'll just like wander around. Like I feel pretty scared of like my alarm spell that nobody's gonna hurt my mutual acquaintances.
Yeah. Now, did you make it auditory alarm or like mental alarm?
It's a mental alarm. I did specify that it was a mental.
Okay. Sure. Give me a perception check as you take a look around the caravan. Alright.
I'm too disturbed by Shock.
Yeah, you're like, hey. So you get a 9 because you can't roll below your passive. You look around, but you don't really see anything. It seems like a quiet night. There's a bunch of guys in the front and back of the caravan. A bunch of guards up and talking and keeping an eye out.
You're just chilling?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay,
It looks like
I'll go over and say hi
okay. The front or the back?
to wherever the guards are hanging out. I'm just gonna say hi.
Okay. Well, there's a group of them in the front and the back. There are 2 different groups. So you're just gonna go say hi to both groups?
Well, like how, like are they? Excuse me. Sorry, are they the groups that are in front of the suspicious wagon?
Yeah, so there's one group in front of the last wagon, which is the one that the box is in. There's about 5 guards there who are awake right now, with a
Okay.
couple.
So stay with them.
Okay. So yeah, you walk over. They say,
Over like I don't know, some water, I guess. I'm assuming we have water.
yeah, probably. So you bring over some water. Like,
Bring over
oh,
some
hey,
water.
hey, Karen, how are you doing?
Guys, how are you doing? How are you holding up? It's a long night.
Well, Jim over there has been drinking. Bob is falling asleep, but pretty good.
Well, I brought over some water. You guys look, like you could use some.
Oh, thank you. Give me a persuasion check. Yeah, they seem to really appreciate your gesture, and they take some water and probably invite you to hang out if you want.
Yeah, I'll hang out with them.
Okay.
We'll build a rapport.
Hang out with them for a bit, talking, building rapport, getting to know the guards. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's pretty much it. Planting some seeds.
Yeah. All right. So you hang out with them for a bit and head back to the middle. Your partners both seem fine.
I'm tired. Good night, lads.
Yeah. You wish them good night, and they say, "Oh, good night, Karen. We'll see you tomorrow."
Don't work too hard.
We're keeping an eye out, but things seem good so far. So you go back to the caravan, wake up your shift, and I assume go to bed. So the night passes pretty quietly. You're still in pretty safe territory, so nothing happens. You can take a long rest if you need it, but I think you all still have your resources.
Yeah.
It is now the 86th as the journey continues. The day again is pretty quiet. There's a little bit more of an unease in the group as you're all kind of farther away from the main city of Highgard now. Anything you want to do throughout the day? Alright, so the day would pass then, and nightfall you would stop before a bridge where Shock would say, tomorrow might be difficult, lads and lasses. Keep an eye out. We're getting close to the dangerous territory where the other caravans were attacked. So it is now the 87th. At evening time.
The anniversary of the day that my cousin was eaten by that dire wolf.
That's a day that lives in infamy. Give me another D20 roll, please.
My turn. How do I do that?
Like the dice going towards the left of the screen by the turn order.
Yes.
Keep coming up with quick settings.
Well, when you press the dice, it should, if you mouse over it, it should give you a bunch of options.
The other dice.
Okay. So it's nighttime. Everyone's getting settled in. Quentin, you're sort of off to the side, getting your stuff sorted, and you can swear you see some movement on the other side of the bridge in the brush. You just saw like a weird little flash of red as the grass rustled a bit.
Okay.
You don't think anyone else saw it? None of the guards seem to react, and none of your allies seem to react.
Very subtly and not making a fuss, I'm gonna walk over to No One and Belia, and I'm gonna tell them what I basically saw or what I think I saw. Well, what I saw, but what I think it might be. And then tell them, what do you want us to do?
How dark is it?
So it's evening. There's moonlight, so it's not pitch black, but it's pretty dark. It's hard to see.
And let me see something right quick. Hold on.
I mean, do what? We could just.
I mean, I can look at it, right?
Why don't we just tell the guards that we saw something?
Okay.
Send them.
Alright, so you're going to go to the guards at the front of the caravan?
Honey, Chalk.
So yeah, Shock is kind of off to the side talking to some of the guards. He looks over and says, yes, Karen.
Quentin.
Wait, did you call him Honey?
Yep, she did.
Did you actually call him Honey, or was that more like silliness?
Yeah, no, I called him Honey. I
All
called
right.
him Sweet. I've been calling him pet names this whole time.
All
I
right.
don't think I've actually used his real name in front of him.
Fair enough. Give me another persuasion check.
Good gracious.
18. He smiles at you and he says, "Yes, Karen. What's going on?"
Listen.
He may have been caught a little bit off guard by it. Maybe he's a little flustered.
Listen, I don't want to set off any alarms, but like you said, things are gonna get a little heated now. Quentin said he saw something in the bushes over there. I'm just wondering. I would go in and check it out myself, but I didn't want to go by myself.
Okay. He looks over there and says, "What did you see, Quentin?"
I saw something move that was like red in the bush over there or across the bridge.
Red. He looks to one of the guards and he says, "Bring a lantern. Go check it out and see if you see anything. You all are welcome to join if you wish, in case you want to have a closer look."
Sure.
He says, everyone keep an eye on the caravan. This might be some kind of distraction attempt." The guards nod and kind of stay vigilant. So the one guy gets his lantern, lights it up, and starts walking over there. Are any of you going with him?
Yeah.
Alright, so he is very...
Is it just the one guard, or is Shock going as well?
Shock is staying close to the caravan, keeping an eye out. He's looking all around now, seeing if he could see anyone else. It's just the one guard going over to take a look, with the other guards kind of with their crossbows in hand, keeping an eye out.
Okay, more than one person should really go look. I mean, we should definitely have a buddy system.
He says, "Quentin, do you think you could go over there with him, keep an eye on him?"
Yeah, if you want.
Alright. So, are the other, or Ophelia and no one, are you joining the two of them, or are you staying here?
I'm gonna stay.
Okay.
Ophelia's gonna stay on the bridge and kind of look around it.
Still within eye line? Like, are they still within eyesight?
Yes, so the bridge is probably about maybe 50 or so feet across. It's a fairly large stone bridge. You probably have to move out onto the bridge like Ophelia did to get a clear sight, just because it gets kind of dark as you get farther away. Actually, no. Sorry, I take that back. The soldier does have a torch, so you can see him going across the bridge from here.
I think just as long, like, especially if Quentin's going alone with the guard, I would say, as long, like, I would try to maintain eyesight with them and the caravan.
Okay. So you stay here maintaining eyesight. Ophelia, you kind of walk halfway across the bridge looking around. Quentin and the guard get to the other side.
We're just gonna stay a little bit behind the guards. Like the guards going first, and the Quinton's like, I don't know, a couple of feet, maybe 5 to 10 feet behind him. Because like, yeah, you go look at the dangerous thing, and I'll be behind.
Yeah, using him as cover a bit. All right, so
Yeah.
the guard nods and puts his hand on his spear as he walks down into the tall grass, looking around. He says, "Over here? Is this where you saw it?"
Is it?
Yeah, this is the area.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he nods and he's kind of pushing the grass aside. He's going to make a perception check. not roll very well. He's looking around the area. He says, I don't see anything.
Would I see anything like with
Do-
the either passive as 16 or doing a check?
Do you want to get down into the tall grass and really start poking around? By the way, that's not correct feet. Each square is about a day's journey, so it's a pretty large area.
Oof, okay.
Not ideally, but actually, no, because I think light there.
Yeah, the guard has a lantern. Yeah, he has a lantern burning, so you can see pretty clearly. But if you want to get a good look, you probably would have to go down into the grass, which is sort of under the bridge a little.
Let it go on then.
Alright, so you climb down.
Before I go, while I'm on the bridge, I'm going to cast Long Stride on myself, and that lasts for an hour.
Alright, so you begin chanting. The guard freaks out a little bit. He's like, what's going on? And poof,
Just if I have to run.
Okay. And click on the actual spell so it does the minusing of the spell slot. Okay. So yeah, you feel yourself become a lot quicker as the magics engulf you. You step down and go ahead and give me a perception check. Oh, one other thing real quick. I use an inspiration system where you have points. You all start with 1 inspiration point, and you can spend those to gain advantage on a roll. So you might want to record that resource somewhere, that you have 1 of 10 inspiration points. You can have up to 10 of them. You get them through doing stuff in the story, as well as taking journal or getting the MVP vote at the end of the game. So just record that you have the 1 in case you want to use it for advantage at some point. But with a 16, Quentin, because I'll use your passive, you would look around. You don't see anything. It doesn't look like anyone's hiding there. However, you would notice something shining in the lantern light. It looks like there is a small button that is sitting in the grass, kind of on the ground.
Okay.
Like a button from maybe someone's shirt or something.
Does it look like it's part of a trap?
What does a trap button look like?
I don't know, but you know when you pick the button up and it's tied to a string and it pulls something and then something springs? I don't know.
As far as you can tell, it's just a button. You don't see any strings.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the button up.
Okay. So do you have any history knowledge? I don't think no. Okay. It just looks like it looks a little odd to you. Like the button looks like something off of maybe like a nobleman's shirt. It doesn't look like a normal like commoner's button, but yeah, nothing really stands out.
I look around and see if there's anything in that looks like it's part of it or like it would have come from.
Sure. Also, do you have survival trained?
Yeah. But I do have 4.
Okay.
It's not a thing I'm proficient in.
Okay. Give me a survival check. Oh.
Yes.
So looking around, you would notice that there are signs of passage, as if someone's been here recently. You see some grass kind of bent to the sides, as if maybe someone stepped through the area. It might be a bit of a trail. It's going off towards the east of here, away from the caravan, along the side of the river. And you might see like a footprint in the mud.
It looks like it's just one person.
It looks like it's one person, yeah, and you think it was made just recently. The signs of passage, I mean. So you think someone was here recently? Maybe it's the red you saw.
would I guess? So it's like very very recent then, like like just a couple of minutes or that stuff.
Without training and survival, you probably wouldn't know that much, but you'd probably say it was within the hour.
Okay. Uh, Me and the guard will go back like across the bridge and tell them all it's fine. It was just it was like I don't know if I'm gonna tell them it's a button. I'll just say like, it was an animal.
All right. Are you? So
You
wait, you're gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
Is there any
Just go,
Sorry, did you bring the button with you?
yeah.
Is
So-
there any what is it, crest or something on the button?
Did you show them the button?
I haven't showed like Shock and the guards, but I'm gonna show No One and Ophelia the button.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of say to Shock and them that it's nothing, but then try to talk to your people in secret. Is that what you're doing?
Not entirely like in secret, but just like having a chat with them because like I would, and then they'll just say like and then like pull the button out because
Okay,
not entirely
so,
in secret, but not like telling them.
but you're lying to Shock and saying it was just an animal, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Give me a deception check.
Oof.
because I don't want them to think it's a button because then I'll just get Brandages and Nutter who react to a button.
Okay, so he says, "Oh, all right. Well, I guess we have nothing to worry about then. Everyone, just keep an eye out. But if there are just some animals in the area, that's normal. Thank you for taking a look." And the guards nod. Quentin, so you're gonna bring the button up to Ophelia and No One off to the side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you tell them what
I'm
you
gonna tell them
actually
everything.
found?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
tell them everything I found, the footprint, the broken grass, and the fact that it was like an hour ago maybe, and someone heading east along the river.
Why didn't you say anything to Shock?
Because all I found was a button, and I don't want him to think that, oh my god, you were scared of a button.
I mean, I don't think he'd think you were afraid of a button. I think that those are all signs of that someone was there.
Well, I kind of had an idea of I'll turn into a fox and go after them, and see if I can track them and see where they've gone.
Well, can I have a look at the button?
Yeah, you knock yourself out, like, yeah,
Is
totally.
there any like you said that it looked like it was a button from like a nobleman's jacket or something? Is there any
Yeah.
like crests or something?
So there is a symbol on it that looks kind of fancily, I don't know if it'd be carved or etched, etched into the button. No one has history.
I don't, but I have court functionary.
Oh, link that. Let's see.
So if it's court related or government related, I
Give
may
me-
know.
Give me an intelligence check with proficiency. So you can just roll intelligence and add 2 to it. You might know something about this. Oh, bad roll.
17.
So were you in the courts at one point in your background?
Yeah, I was the leader.
Okay. So you don't know the specific symbol, but the etchings look elven to you. The government doesn't deal with the elves very often because they're kind of a mysterious like group of people that sort of just wander. But
I do want to. Sorry, just
yeah, go ahead.
interrupting you for a sec. I do want to have a chat with you about my backstory because I did send you something.
Okay.
I don't know if you had a look at it, but it did like I threw out that it was like an elven government,
Okay. Yeah, we can. I can.
but I
take
don't
a-
know. Again, I don't know how I don't know how your world works and how that would work, like how that would function. in
So,
your-
yeah, there are some elven bodies of government, though the elves tend to. I mean, is it more wood elven or high elven?
high elves.
Okay, that's more interesting.
Because the idea of my backstory that was that I'd witnessed some high elf noble murder took their place, learned wizardry from the elves so that I could eventually take the Bladesinger subclass,
Okay.
and then was caught and then ran away.
Okay. So I have an idea of how that could function. There are some high elf groups that are close to here. Not large government factions, but I think I have a good link for that.
Okay. But I mean, that's something that we can do.
Oh,
Like,
and actually, I'm going to say that since you do have that in your backstory, you would recognize this as a drow symbol.
oh,
Drow.
Yes, this is a dark elf symbol, which is really odd because you've probably only seen something like this like once in your lifetime while you were within the court of the high elves. But yes, you believe that the symbol is drow.
weird. Do I like? Would I know of any drow communities in the area?
No, no. I mean, there are the random drow that exist on the surface, but for the most part, they exist in the underground.
Hmm.
And without knowledge of Arcana, you probably would. Or do you have nature by chance?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't have any intelligence.
So
Wisdom.
yeah, your I mean your knowledge would be limited by your experience and your background then. So I'd say that you know probably from your correspondence with the elves that yeah, for the most part the drow exist underground, and while there are a lot of drow that exist separate from the empire, you know that the Spider Queen's underground empire is extremely evil, is often at war when they're in close proximity with the elves because of ancient grudges between their peoples.
And this particular symbol, is it religious? Is it a religious symbol or like of the Spider Queen, or is it like governmental?
You'd guess it's a family crest,
Okay.
so you think it's one of the houses.
And I wouldn't know specifically which one.
No, no. You would just recognize the what would it be called? The maybe the style.
Yeah. Okay. Just say I'm pretty sure. You know, I. This is probably completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that looks almost drow.
What's a drow?
A
Uh,
drow?
so just real quick, Philia, you would know. Oh, give me an Arcana check. You would know something about what drow are, but not too much. That would be well. Do you have nature?
Uh, it is not that high. I can roll, but it's like
Are you trained in it?
nope.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can give me an untrained nature check. Yeah. You know maybe a little bit about the Dark Elves from their studies of the arcane, but not very much. And
All
yeah.
I can tell you guys is that they're dark and they're evil. No, I'm joking. Dark elves maybe I believe are just beings in the underworld.
Yeah, in a
Yeah,
place in the deep under the surface.
something like that. I don't know. It just, this style looks, evil.
So what we're saying is this is very bad. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're saying that it's something, and
Something is going
Oh,
on.
something's going
okay.
on.
Then
And we might
how
not,
about
it might be a little bit more than some random barbarian tribe. We
okay?
could
So how about
be dealing with something,
you carry on?
we could be dealing with something a little bit, more, uh, bigger, I guess, than just, you know, organized bandit raid.
Okay. So how about you go tell your honey bun what we know about this and Drow and what I said about them traveling an hour ago, I will go into a fox and I will go and follow and see what I find.
All right. So
Um,
just
sure
real.
you want to by yourself?
I'll be a fox. No one's going to do anything. I'm a fox.
Well, if you say so.
I'm not going to go into their town or their campment. I'm just going to go and see what I find. And if I see a fire with people, then I come running back.
All right, just be careful.
I will.
All right. So real quick, we are past the 2 o'clock mark. I don't mind playing a little bit later if people want, since this is kind of the first game. I could probably do another 10 minutes or so, or we can stop here. Like, what's everyone's schedule look like?
I mean, like my schedule's free all evening, so I'm down to play. This is also a pretty good stopping point too, if you wanted
Yeah.
to.
And that's what I was thinking too. We could maybe stop here and just continue next time, because we are kind of in the evening making plans for what's going to happen next. Uh, so yeah, why don't we do that and we can pick it up next time. Give me MVP votes. Who you think should be MVP for the session? Which do you all know how to whisper? Yeah, shock.
No.
So this is the command. Basically without the parentheses. /W space GM space the name of who you want to vote for MVP. You can't vote for yourself. And I guess you could vote for NPCs, but they can't use inspiration points, so it's kind of a waste. For a minute, I thought you were being cheeky, Quentin.
Sorry, it's /W space.
Yes. /W space GM space the name of the person. It should show up on the chat there. Okay, that's 2 votes. I think you all voted for a different person. That would be a 3-way tie, so I need a d20 roll from all of you. We'll let fate decide.
You mean I didn't do enough flirting with Shaw to get MVP?
Well, someone thought you did, but not everyone.
Oh, I can't see my D20 roll thingy. Hold on. Here it is.
Alright, so no one. With 16, you are MVP. Congrats. So you get an inspiration point. So now you have 2. Good job, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this first session as we move closer to figuring out what's going on at Chaur. We'll pick it up next week. I'll see if I can get some more people. But until then, have a great week.
Thank
All
you.
right, take it easy.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
Bye.
I'm going to be here for a bit taking notes if anyone wants to speak about it.
Was there a time that you wanted to discuss my backstory a little bit?
I mean, we can kind of feel it out as we go. I usually am free between this game and my evening game, which is it's in 3 hours from now, depending on your time zone. But
I just don't want to step on anyone's toes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. Usually, I'm like with story stuff, I can usually just work in whatever you want to do. I do have an idea for a hook though with the High Elves, because there is a community nearby that you could fit with what you want to do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't because I did send you that PDF of what I'd come up with.
Yeah.
Essentially, I witnessed someone this important person's murder, decided to take their place, and then was caught, and everybody thought that I had killed them, but I didn't, and so was set to be executed, so I ran away.
Oh, is that
And
the one you posted in the main chat?
I didn't post anything in the main chat. I just sent it to you on in a private message.
Oh, okay. I just see a PDF on the main chat. Let me check my messages here.
The PDF in the main chat would have just been my my character sheet because we were just deciding what everybody was going to play.
Ah, okay. I see.
So yeah, I know if there's a high elf community, I think no one would be very nervous, and it may cause some problems.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I can probably make this fit in with something that's going on in the world. This seems pretty straightforward. I can get some more details to you about that.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Gotcha.
And I don't
Okay.
know, and I don't know how high in the court you want me to go. Like how high this, like how important this noble person was.
So,
But it would be significant enough to cause a lot of issues. Like, you know, it'd be a significant embarrassment
yeah.
issue.
So there isn't a firm high elven government nearby, but it could have been a high elf within the Teruvian Empire government.
Okay.
Is it important to you that it be heavily elven, or just that it be,
Well, it depends on how, because again, I wanted to multi-class into the Blade Singer subclass,
Yeah.
and I know that tends to be specifically elven.
Yeah. All right.
And I mean, the idea was that I integrated myself into there, learned this skill, and then got discovered, and then left.
All right. Give me one moment. Let me read this and think a little. Okay. Okay, so you already had learned some of the blade singing secrets while you were with them. I see.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I chose to multi-class as wizard right at the beginning. Otherwise, I would have just taken a second level in rogue.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured it made more sense backstory-wise.
Okay. Gotcha. Alright, so yeah, your character is, is anyone else still in the chat? Who's spying on us? You're all spying on us, I see how it is. No,
Yeah.
that's fine. Do you care if other people hear about this, or would you rather us talk about this, privately? Like, do you want to have secrets?
I mean, I've been pretty general about it right already.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. Was there anything that anybody else wanted to talk about before we go too deep in this?
Yeah, sure. Do any of you want to talk to me or each other about anything?
Quick question. Are we gonna ever go by like the sea or no? I
Uh,
forgot to ask you that before I chose my patron.
So the sea in this world is kind of on the eastern side of the empire, and
Yeah.
your group is on the western. There's a desert nearby. Obviously, that's not going to help you much. There's a swamp nearby. Most of this is going to be on land, at least for the time being. There is possibly a story arc later, unless you all just decide you want to go to the East Coast and I have to plan a whole new thing. But
Piracy.
yeah, you all just become pirates. Yarr. But the natural flow.
I've learnt water forms. Let's go the ocean.
We're out of here. Screw this Chaur place. We're going the other way.
Or Or we steal the magic dagger and then escape to Mexico.
Yeah, the fantasy
To
equivalent.
Fantasy
Fantasy Mexico. So the natural flow of the story, I don't think is going to take us near the ocean for a while. But I mean, you can still have a sea patron. That doesn't necessarily. I think all your powers, nothing needs you to be near water, right, or ocean.
No, as long as I have water near me, but I can create water, so I should be okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, to answer your question, maybe much later you might go to the east coast of the Empire. Naturally, probably not for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's, at least I'm expecting a lot to be happening over here that the group's gonna look into. Any other questions? Okay. So, let me get back to you on some of the details of this, but I can definitely make this work. What I might do is have it be an elven noble within the Teruvian Empire, and possibly have his family have these secrets, which is how you were taught.
Okay.
Because there's no major elven empire close to here. There are a few. How would I describe it? I don't want to say they're like states, but kind of smaller factions of elves that exist among the two major empires. Are the dwarven one to the north, which is called the. Where are my notes? Places. So there's the Drogoth Empire, which is the Dwarven Empire to the north. There's the Teruvian Empire, which is the one you're in. And there's the Nazic Empire, which is the Desert Empire to your west. The Morak Desert, which is known as the Nazic Empire. There's also some lizard folk settlements to the south in the Great Swamps, but they're not really an empire. They're more just a grouping of factions. So those are the major political empires around you. The elves do exist in the northern forests, the wood elves. Those are more territories to the north and to the northeast, like over here. They're not on the map, but there's some basically settlements for the wood elves. And the high elves of this area are kind of, most of them are part of the nobility of the Teruvian Empire, old allied families of the underground empires during the cataclysms, back when the people all lived underground to avoid the fires. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'll get you more details on the elf family, although you can also make up any details you want, because I don't have anything hard planned on the elven nobility of the Teruvian Empire. So it's up to you. You could come up with something, or I can make up some names, but that's probably where you learned your techniques from.
Okay. Yeah. No. Like I said, I didn't have any names. Didn't have any like how high this person was in the nobility and the aristocracy. I just know that they had a major role in a big decision.
Okay, it was probably someone in the capital then, in Tyvanis.
And so I took their place.
Okay, yeah, we can say it was someone in Tyvanis. We can also flush it out later too. We can chat on the Discord. We can do texts or something. But
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna worry about it for this first game, and then the button came up.
Yeah, and that's fine. A lot of that we can do stuff like that where we figure it out as we go. I almost kind of prefer that sometimes because I feel like if you leave your backstory more open, you can kind of, make it work with what's going on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you plan it all in the beginning, then you're kind of solidifying it, and yeah, there's less ability to change it.
Yeah,
So-
no, I agree. I'm with you on that. I just, again, it's nice. It's also nice to have structures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, okay. So I think we're good, right? Was there anything else you needed?
That was it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Look forward to hearing back from you, and have a nice evening game.
Yeah, and you have a nice evening yourself.